Republic of Football. I am Benjamin Nketiah. I will be seeing you through this in the next 3 hours, giving you live updates, previewing the games, looking at lineups, checking out the statistics, giving you the trends, the banter, the transfer gossip. You've got it all here on the Republic of Football. And as always, we are live on 97.3 City FM. We are also live on Channel 1 TV. We are live on YouTube at City Sports GH. And on X or Twitter at City973. If you're listening to us via radio, you can get to us via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram. 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. You can also drop us a comment on YouTube. We'll do a lot of comments reading. You can also drop us one on X or Twitter. Today's first batch of Premier League matches kick off at 3 p.m. So we'll be previewing those games. Brighton and Hove Albion are at the Amex. They take on Leeds United. We also head to Turf Moor, where Burnley Football Club will look to put the brakes on Arsenal. Arsenal have new wind in their sails. They are cooking. Defense solid. Getting the wins, getting the 3 points. Rest of their title rivals not looking as solid, but I'm sure they don't mind. Crystal Palace themselves have been floundering. They will be at Selhurst Park today in the London derby against Brentford. Should be a good encounter. Oliver Glasner will be looking to get his Chargers back on track. At one point, they were the only unbeaten team in the league. A few mishaps and missteps here and there. And then when you get to Craven Cottage, it's where Fulham Football Club will also test their strength against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Should be a good game, that one. At the City Ground is the Ginger Mourinho. Sean Dyche is in the building. He's not started off well. Sean Dyche always has a thing for making big statements. He is up against Man United. Should be a good game. At 5:30, there's Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea. That is another huge encounter. London derby, that is. And then at 8 p.m., there's Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Let's start off on the 3 p.m. note. Let's get into the 3 p.m. batch of matches. Manuel Kwache is here. Yao Jaminta will join us in a bit. Coach Christopher Nimley as well. Manuel, let me start off with you real quick on that Forest and United note. Sean Dyche takes over the reins from Ange Postecoglou. Amorim on the ascendancy. Initial thoughts before we get into lineups and also the deeper conversation on this one.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting matchup today at the Four Others City Ground. For Amorim, I think this is a year in for him.
Okay.
I think, and he was speaking about that, and you could see the relief on his body, and he said that it's different now than it was 3 weeks ago. The way he feels about the job is different now than it felt 3 weeks ago, and that's understandable. Given 3 weeks ago, it was a different conversation for him. But I think there's a chance for them to prove stability. I think getting a good run of flow. I heard you saying that they're title contenders yesterday, and I mean, if they win today, if they win today, they are definitely within the title.
They go up to 19 points based on how other matches go. That's second place on the table.
Yeah, and only thing is, I think because of how Arsenal are playing right now, I expect them to pull clear. But beyond that, if they're able to become more consistent and just win matches, because I think at the start of the season, coach made the point a lot that I felt like they were playing really well, but they weren't able to convert some of these chances. And I think looking at them closely, it looks a bit like that. I think the starting lineups are out. I don't know if you go through that.
Let me go through that real quick. So, lineups for Forest and Man United. So for Forest, they are playing a 4-2-3-1 today. They have Matzels in post, and then it's a back four of Neco Williams, former Liverpool defender, Murillo and Milinkovic, very experienced centre-back pairing, and then they have Nicolo Savona, new signing for them this season. When you go to the middle of the park, Elliot Anderson had a brilliant campaign last time around. Douglas Luiz, once upon a time, used to lace his boots for Aston Villa. He's playing for Forest these days. And then they have Dan Ndoye, Morgan Gibbs-White, and soon-to-be Black Stars winger Callum Hudson-Odoi alongside Igor Jesus, the Brazilian international. So very strong lineup there, put out there by Sean Dyche. You look at how he set up his team, looks very much like a Sean Dyche team. Looks to me like they will look to counter. I'm yet to be proven right or wrong based on when the game starts, so we'll see about that. Man United, Ruben Amorim and his ever conspicuous 3-4-2-1 system, the system that he has stuck religiously to since his time here. Sen Lomens is the goalkeeper in post. They have a 3-back of Lenny Yoro, Matthias De Ligt, and Luke Shaw. And then you go to the middle of the park. They have Diego Dallo, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and Amad Diallo. And then you have Mateus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo with Benjamin Sesko also featuring. So all their new signings in the mix there. Mbeumo is up and gunning. Cunha has scored once, looks decent so far, so does Sesko. Thoughts on the lineups?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what you expect from both coaches. For Sean Dyche, I think it's interesting to see that he's going with Igor Jesus up front. I don't know if Chris Wood is injured. He's not on the bench. He only has Teo Wuni on the bench, so I can understand why he's going with Igor Jesus. He hasn't hit the ground running as much as I thought he would. I was really excited when they were signing him. I think I saw him at the Club World Cup. He's a really good player, but I was surprised that he hasn't been able to at least score in the Premier League yet. But I think he scored, twice already for them on the Europa League campaign, so that's good. In terms of Manchester United, I think it's good to see that Amorim is able to get this. And on the face of it, I would say this is his best team. This looks like his best lineup with everyone fit, if everyone is fit. Because I don't know, and I think Casemiro is in better form. So I think him pairing Fernandes in the middle makes more sense than Ugarte. So for in terms of the lineup, there's nothing that's really surprising. I think it's also positive for him that he's able to put the 3 attacking forwards all into the same team immediately, because they've all had their different impact at different times. I think Šeško has proven himself to be more than just a finisher. It looks like his link-up play is also going to be very helpful for the way United play. And Mbeumo has...
Sure, that's big. The least I can ask of you is good link-up play. I mean, is he like 6'4", 6'5", big athletic guy? Yeah, yeah, huge guy, actually, huge for a footballer. So the least you can do is be a decent target man. I don't know about you.
I mean, fair enough. But I feel like he's been more than a decent target man. I think he's been able to almost be creative, almost in a sense, play others into play, which isn't necessarily expected of someone that's that big. Mostly you expect that the ball comes to him, maybe he holds it up a bit, like the way maybe probably did last week, and then you just pass it off to somebody so that they can finish it. So yeah, but just in terms of the lineups, I think this is the best team that he can put out. I think if he's looking for consistency, especially since Lamens has come into the post, I think he has been a really solid goalkeeper. And I think there's a good point where you realize at least there was a good portion of games that they lost last season and this season, where it was almost by 1 game margins, or the deciding point of the game, when they lost momentum in the game, came down to a goalkeeping error. Even in the cup this season, when they went out to Grimsby Town, when Onana made a few errors, like there have been a number of games where they've actually been okay, and the deciding factor in them losing was the fact that they didn't have a goalkeeper who wasn't who wasn't error prone. Yeah. So in terms of the team, I think if he's looking to continue the good form, I think that if I haven't been as convinced with Dalot, but I think Dalot has there's a reason why he's still being picked for Man United and Portugal. I'd like to imagine. I think he can. There's more that he can bring to the team. Diallo too. I also never understood why he's being played as a wing back. Personally, because I felt I get the argument that he's in good form. I feel like if you're in good form, then you should be able to challenge the same menu problem. You should be able to challenge one of the people who are playing in the 10 positions. But beyond that, I think that United should be able to at least. I think they should be able to win this game. By looking at the lineup that Forest has put out, I'd also back Forest to give them a good challenge in the game.
Well, good challenge, good lineups out there. Yeah, quick thoughts on the lineup for that United Forest game. United's shiny toys all up top for the team. Forest have a few of their own, but they've not delivered as well. But just snap thoughts initially before we go on.
Yes, with Man United and looking at this game, ideally I would want to call it as a draw. Because I look at the Nottingham Forest team and bringing in Callum Hudson-Odoi into the starting lineup. He didn't start off the season as a starter, but he had been coming off the bench frequently. But he had been making good impressions whenever he came off the bench, and so I think this is a deserved call up to the starting lineup, and I honestly see him giving Amad Diallo a lot of problems and Man United a lot of problems, and when you add that up to Ndoye's speed on the other side, coupled with Diogo Dalot's sometimes poor performance, especially defensively, and Luke Shaw sometimes can switch off consistently. That brings about a big possible problem that could come up against Manchester United, knowing very well that the threats are coming not just from one side but on both wings. But that's how come I see this game potentially ending in a draw. But now that Man United have 3 wins under their wings, it could just give them that bit of confidence that they need to be able to see this game out and maybe just edge it, because quality wise they have it, but in terms of that bit of confidence, having that air of confidence around them, that is the problem right now. That is what they need to build on to be able to take that next step forward, because it was challenged last week. They took a 3-0 win, a 3-0 lead. Brighton and Hove Albion got a goal back, and the next thing you know, Man United were all over the place. They conceded another goal afterwards, and there wasn't enough time. Then Bruno Fernandes provided that bit of magic, though he didn't touch the ball, but his movement opened that space up for Brian Mbeumo to get that all-important 4th goal. So there's still work to be done in that regard, and that's why I honestly see a room where, or a situation where Nottingham Forest can get a goal or 2 and potentially pull off a draw in this game. And so that's how I see this game panning out. But push to the wall, yes, I'll definitely go in for a slight Man United win. That's how I'll see it. But just a quick one on the Amad Diallo thing. Look, yes, I understand perfectly why he's being put in that position, because at the end of the day, he's too good to be on the bench. But some way, somehow, you spent all this money on the number 10s, and there's no way and it's too early in the season to be rotating them, especially when you are out of the Carabao Cup. You are not playing in Europe, so limited football time. So you have to find a way to put him in the starting lineup. And when you consider Diogo Dalot is not giving you that kind of creativity from that wing back position down that side, then maybe then okay, let's try him there. And so far he's been okay. He could be better, but he's been okay, considering he's not that kind of player. He's not a wing back, especially as an inverted wing back, but he's making the most of this opportunity, and that's how come he's still playing in that role, because the wing backs that Man United have, they are not delivering. Diogo Dalot should be the one delivering from the right side, but he's not delivering. on the left side, Patrick Dogu is very inconsistent, and so that's how come Amorim has had to move Dalo to the opposite side. At least his activity will keep the opposing wingers busy on that end. Then on the other side, then you can have a space where you can put Amad Diallo in there and ensure that he doesn't sit on the bench, and add to the list of frustrated players who are very, very much frustrated over their lack of minutes or limited number of minutes and appearances. And Amorim hinted about that in his pre-game presser, that yes, there's a strong, significant situation where in January some players who are regulars in this team will leave, not because they're falling out with the team, but because the World Cup is coming.
Yeah, everybody wants playing time.
They want to play some games and ensure that their spot in the national team is not lost. Zegzi, Kobe Menu, those two pop up. Even Harry Maguire, because like you said, when it comes to the Joshua Champon debate, that the England backline, yes, they have their regular starters, but you look at the injury list that they have, the injury situation of all those players who are in there, especially the centre backs. If you put together like 3 months of solid performances, you could sneak in.
Yep.
So Harry Maguire, being a veteran, having been in these sports before, played at the international stage before, he fancies his chances of being able to play his way back into the England national team. So he will also be pushing for a move from Man United in January.
But I think United's centre-back options are limited, and they should not be letting Maguire leave.
They are more than enough.
Are you sure? You're playing Luke Shaw at centre-back at the moment.
Yeah, because Lisandro Martinez is in there.
Oh, no, fair. So
Lisandro is back, right?
Yeah, he's back.
I think he's
exactly.
back. No, but you see, between now and the World Cup could be a lot of injuries. And you know how you can go quickly from having 4 centre-backs who are fit to 2 centre-backs all of a sudden, and then you have to rope in a full-back. I don't know. Personally, I think Maguire will fancy his chances of staying at United, getting playing time, and still going to the World Cup.
Because you have Lenny Euro, you have Matisse De Ligt, you have Aiden Heaven.
Yep. No, but he's playing better than all of them now. No,
and he's definitely the option that they go to when they need a goal.
Exactly.
He's no.
He has more. This is the same type of value. This is the same type of value that McTominay possessed, that was not too valued while he was at United. Some way, somehow, he was misprofiled. He was always insulted for being a DM who could never stay in his place. Look at how he's thriving at Napoli now. So I'm just saying that
Mazraoui is also
you
there. Lisandro Martinez.
Well.
So I look at
that. I mean, shouldn't Mazraoui be competing for the fullback position with Ahmad?
More like that.
No, actually he should be on the right side of a 3-man backline, because
so you play Luke Shaw and Mazraoui in a 3-man backline to what, in between Lenny Euro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, ideally, Luke Shaw shouldn't be playing in the back line.
But
I
think he should not be playing, because he's not going to be playing as a fullback.
He's become more of a centre back now than a fullback.
Exactly. But Mazraoui is better as a defender on the right side of a 3-man back line than as a wing back. Because as a wing back, you should have that speed. Mazraoui doesn't have it, and I don't see him as very aggressive on the offensive end. Defensively, sound, super sound. But offensively, he's not. Let's say like he's not like a Denzel Dumfries.
Fair. Let's talk about Forest a bit and talk about what they have to offer. Already, you see a change in game styles. Sean Dyche's team playing more long balls than his predecessor. We have Callum Hudson, although one of his rare starts for the season. What are we expecting from them in a game like this? Igor Jesus, I believe, came from Botafogo. Not hit the ground running the way they would want him to. Gibbs White almost made a move to Spurs. Also still some way, somehow in the mix for...
theory.
Some way, somehow.
Marinakis
Crazy.
Him
Charlie,
reportedly.
That's where if he goes, what will happen to him?
Oh no, you could see it in the video when they were announcing the signing. Manako was just behind him.
No, it looked so awkward.
When they were announcing his renewal?
Yeah,
His renewal.
So
He was standing right there, and he had this pensive look on his face. And they were interviewing him, and he kept on looking over his shoulder. It felt so awkward. It felt so awkward.
Yeah, probably said a few words to him, man.
Actually,
That's
he
crazy.
should have gone to Spurs.
That's
Because
crazy. That would have been a very suitable move for him.
brilliant. Because once they missed out on him, then they went in for Xavi Simons.
Yeah.
I mean, they went for Izzy, then they didn't get Izzy.
Yeah.
Then Javi Simons
I think
came after
Xavi
that.
Simons has played. He's done a 007. He's gone past it actually. Played. He's not registered an assist or goal yet. You know.
Yes.
Actually, what's crazy is that I feel like he's gone under the radar, being such a highly rated wonder kid. Barcelona, PSG, Eindhoven, Leipzig. I thought there would be a bigger spotlight on him, but we'll get to more talk of that when we discuss that Chelsea game. But
but back to the Spurs thing. Yes, with Spurs.
with
With Forest. Yes, with Forest.
Mhm.
I think this is the perfect game for Sean Dyche early in his tenure as Nottingham Forest coach, because Man United, this backline can easily be rattled by long throws, set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks, what have you, name them. They can easily get rattled. And so I think it's about styles. And styles make fights, styles make matches. And when I look at this Nottingham Forest team, yes, with their penchant to play long balls under Sean Dyche, I think this is the perfect game to do so. And that's how come I'm not too confident giving out or predicting a win for Man United, because in these circumstances or these instances, yes, Nottingham Forest could grab a goal or two and make this game a draw. And so that's how I see this game panning out potentially. So I think this is the perfect game for Sundice and his team to be able to test their long ball skills
and be able to scored.
Oh, we have a goal. Okay, hold on. So in the Italian Serie A, there's an ongoing game between Udinese and Atalanta. I think it's been ruled out. Kamaldeen had a goal just ruled out for offside, so we'll be keeping an eye on him.
I'm seeing a lot of random players. I think Skamaka is at Atalanta, Zaniolo is back at Udinese.
Italian players, they don't like leaving their, when they leave their country, it's like a fish that has jumped out of water, and then there's a struggle, and they are almost itching to go back to their country.
I really rated Zaniolo. There was a point where I thought he could be almost like Dybala too.
Zaniolo actually suffered a cruciate ligament as well, and after his injury was never the same.
Twice.
He came to Villa after the injuries, and I realized he was slower. He just wasn't as confident. He used to be that guy. I mean, when he was younger, especially on the right wing.
And I think he also has some issues, accepting change or adapting. And I think he comes across as a headstrong personality.
Very.
And so because he's had all the coaches that he's played,
he had some very crazy incidents recently. I believe when he where is he now? Atalanta. Yes, when he first joined Udinese. I think he made a stop at Fiorentina.
Yes,
he made a stop at Fiorentina. And he was fighting with everybody at Fiorentina before he eventually left.
So he comes across as a headstrong because all the coaches that he's played under, they complained about him, and so I think that hasn't also helped out. With his career projection,
he's had some issues.
But I look at the Kamaldeen goal. I mean, if you have that speed, should you be caught offside? I mean, just stay on the line. I mean, with your speed, you can get to
the timing thing.
Was it from the pass or was it from him?
It was from him.
It
was a timing thing, more like I think. I'm sure he could have made it. Just didn't time.
And those are the things that he needs to work on because that could have been a simple, straightforward goal. I mean, those kind of goals, you don't have to dribble past three people. You don't have to really strain yourself to be able to get those goals. Once you just check the last the shoulder of the last defender, just time yourself and make that move because you already have the speed, so you don't need to strain yourself to be able to get to the ball. So for me, that was a little bit disappointing. But back to the Forest game, I think Sean Dyche and his team
get something out of this.
They'll be very disappointed if they don't really test Man United's ability to defend set pieces.
I'm looking forward to a performance from Dan Ndoye and Callum Hudson-Odoi, especially. I always say that if you want to make yourself a subject of discussion, one of the best things you can do is sign
Man United.
Against United and against the big team. I mean, go out there, put it all out there on the line, and you have the post-game programs and the tabloids all discussing you and whether England will be missing out if they leave you, or if Ghana should be considering taking it. It could be a very interesting discussion. I think one of the things I don't like about Callum is that he never puts in strong enough performances to actually gain any manager's trust to give him enough games to build rhythm. Either he gets injured or he's sketchy, so he has to be in and out of the team. I think that he should grab. This is a new manager. Yep. He should look to make an impression on Sean Dyche. One of the things about Sean Dyche is that I don't think he's rigid in his thinking. He can be that guy who everybody would think will want to stick a Taiwo Awoniyi up forward and hoof long balls to him. If he finds that something works for his team, he will switch up and use it. And so I think
that's how come Jesus is starting today ahead of Taiwo.
Yeah, I think Callum has the opportunity to stake a place in this team.
But with the Callum one, I would love to see him cross the ball a little bit more. He loves checking in a little bit. Then he lays the ball off to a teammate. Cross it.
Well, I feel like because he's right-footed and has been played on the left.
It's a new inverted thing.
It is. So most of them are inverted forwards instead of traditional wingers. So he's not accustomed to crossing the ball. It's not really in his DNA.
I think it looks
same
worse.
With a guy like Bukayo Saka.
It looks worse if you cut in and you put in a cross and it doesn't meet anyone. I think it looks slightly worse than if you had gone down the outside and put in a cross in. Because I think it looks a bit, because you're supposed to find a target when you're going that. So I feel like the new inverted wingers, most of them would rather take a shot. And if the shot is not on, they'll give the pass, and maybe by the time it comes back to me, I'm in a better position to take a shot.
But how many times are you likely to score that kind of goal that he scored against Liverpool? Was it last season?
Very rare.
I mean Robin did it quite a lot.
He needs to get more practice time, because Fatau Isahaku has shown that if you know where your junction is and you pull up at the junction and your technique is right, 3 times or 2 times out of 5 tries you will get a goal.
I think you should pass on this message to him, because that's the part of the game in his game that he needs to work on to be able to really get the attention of national team handlers, but that's Ghana or England.
But that's the thing I feel right now. Like with all these inverted things, you need to actually have fullbacks who are willing to, like, proper engines who are going like the way Munoz does at Crystal Palace, fully prepared to go up and down the line, so that it's not always there's always an option. Even if you don't go down the line, they can always find a pass.
That's how come he's underrated, because when I was thinking about wing backs, his name didn't pop up. But he is a good, very, very good wing back.
Let's talk about another game, and let's talk about Crystal Palace this time. They are also out with their starting lineups for their game. Oliver Glasner and Crystal Palace have come under a bigger spotlight than they typically would enjoy because of the successes they've had in the last couple of months, winning the FA Cup, going on to win the Community Shield, beating Arne Slot and Liverpool. Arne Slot is literally Oliver Glasner's puppy or puppet right now. He can do whatever he wants with him. 5 matches played, I think, from last season. Not a single one won by the bald one. Still struggling to get something going against him. And word is that Oliver Glasner is eyeing the Liverpool job even if Slot is given the boot. And so very interesting happenings at Selhurst Park and South London. Generally, when you go through the lineups, we'll get into more of what they've been doing and their record recently. They also play a three back system, so that even makes it great for Glasner if he wants to come to Liverpool. They have wing backs in Frimpong and Kekes already. Robertson can play as a wing back if you need him to, and Soboslai has shown that he can definitely be a wing back as well if you need him to.
Arteta is taking notes on how they're using Soboslai.
I
hope so, because you remember that theory I floated about potentially using Declan Rice as a wing back.
I was watching his crossing ability from the last couple of games. He is a really good crosser of the ball.
It's the technique.
The
ball striking technique.
It's super technique.
And Declan Rice and Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Super. Those guys.
That just takes me back to the free kicks against Real Madrid. Crazy stuff. Anyway, for Crystal Palace, they have Dean Henderson in post, Chris Richards, Maxence Lacroix, and McGahey are the back 3. Daniel Munoz, the Colombian fullback, is out. The wing back is out there. They have Daichi Kamada and Jefferson Lerma, and then they have Tyreek Mitchell to finish up that four, and then you have Ismail Assar and Jeremy Pino, and then Jean-Philippe Mateta leading the line. Inform Jean-Philippe Mateta has the luxury of wasting a couple of chances and still scoring a lot of goals these days. When you go to Brentford, they are doing a 4-2-3-1. Kelleher is in post for them. Michael Coyote has become synonymous with holding a towel and wiping the ball for the long throw in. He will play fullback for them today. Nathan Collins and then Vandenberg, as well as Christopher Ayer, finish up the back four. When you go into the middle, Jordan Henderson and Yamuluk will hold up the midfield, and then they have Dango Ouattara in his new team doing well, scored against Liverpool in their last encounter. Mikel Damsgaard, somebody says he's a hair transplant away from playing for a top 4 team. I don't even know what that means. He says that Damsgaard is so good, he just needs to get a hair transplant, and the big team will come and buy him. Kevin Shada and Igor Thiago complete the lineup.
Mbumo didn't need that, so
Mikel Damsgaard is crazy good with all the assistants. Let me stay with you on that one. The lineups are out for this one. Palace not doing as great as they would have wanted to. If you look at the record for them,
so I think out of their last 5 games, they're 10th
on the table. 5 games, won 2, drawn 2, lost 1, but they've not won in their last 3.
Yeah, and all competitions, I think, before the Liverpool win, I think they hadn't won in 4. And the only game they had drawn was the Crystal Palace bomb. The game Arteta scored a hat-trick.
Yeah.
Where, if you remember, I think he missed a very big last-minute chance. Yeah. So they may have won that. But beyond that, they haven't been in really good form, at least until Liverpool showed up. It's not a Liverpool derby, but both teams scored Liverpool last week, at least during the course of the week. So at least I'm interested in seeing which of these teams is actually the better team, and which of it was just a fluke. Because looking at their run of games, I think they have a chance to go on a really good run. Because I think after this they play Brentford, Alkmaar, Brighton, Wolves in the Premier League. I think they play Strasbourg. That should be the what's it called? The Conference League. Yeah, the Conference League before they play Manchester United, then Burnley and Fulham. So I think if given what they are trying to achieve this season, I heard their chairman speaking this week, Steve Parish, and he was talking about how maybe he's hoping that one time Crystal Palace can become like a destination club for teams. And he spoke about the mentality of the players and about how some of them are not just there to. Because if you look at the type of players they sign, these are actually some of them are actually highly rated players. Someone like Dean Henderson came from Manchester United. They have Eze was there before them. Olise, and
you have Jeremy Pino now.
Jeremy Pino, and he also talked about being able to sell players. And I think being able to be a platform for clubs. And I think they spoke also about Gehi and about not selling Gehi. And I think if you look at the leadership that he's providing to the team, I think you can understand why they decided not to sell him. Because if you look at how do you call it, the amount of money that was being offered for him, and the ambitions that they have this season. Because I think in their mind they said they still want to win trophies. Like in his mind, when he came in 2010, he said that he wanted to win the Premier League in 15 years, which is slightly ambitious. But if you look at the type of thing that they've been able to achieve since then, I think they are proof that if you are one of those clubs in the mid-table, and it's also a good time for like Brentford and these clubs, if you're one of those clubs in the mid-table, if you're able to get the right structure around you, you can actually be able to compete really well. I think you see that with Bournemouth. I don't know how long Sunderland will be able to maintain their position in the table. I feel like it has to be slightly more sustained. But I think they are proof that if you work right and if you do things well, you should be able, you can actually challenge the big teams. And I think even Leicester showed that in the season that they won the league. Yeah, just mainly because I think people always assume that the big clubs are always going to win, constantly win the big trophies or win enough matches to that so that you won't be able to compete with them. I think that if you look at Crystal Palace and if you look at their recruitment, Sa is also in really good form. He scored against Liverpool again. I think his record against Liverpool.
Always against Liverpool.
Against Liverpool.
Always.
I remember the first one. I remember the one he scored when was at Watford when Liverpool won a winning run under Klopp and they lost 3-0. I think that was the start of things going bad that season. But I think he's always had a good record against Liverpool over the season. A bit like ever since he's come to Crystal Palace, it's been the same. And just in terms of this match, I'm really impressed with Brentford. Most of the people coming into this season, most people thought they would suffer.
Yeah.
Just because they had lost Thomas Frank, and they've also done the same thing.
And they lost a good chunk of their players.
And that's the thing. That's about to relate to the Crystal Palace thing. Being
Yeah.
able to consistently sell most of your best players. Because if you go through the list, they lost Tony, they've lost Mbomo,
Yeah.
they lost Watkins before they had it. Like, they've lost players who you would assume would, like, if you lost these players, you would not be able to build or be able to continue building. But they keep showing that they're able to recruit really well and find these gems out of nowhere. There's also a point where I think the same thing with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace got lucky and they're able to hold on to those players in their peak years.
Yeah.
Olise, Zaha, they kept Zaha far longer than his peak years. But I think to be able to make it to the next step, and I think that's where Brentford and Brighton and Bournemouth need to start learning from that. I think you need to at least be able to sacrifice sometimes and hold on to these players and then try and achieve something before you then move on to the next level. But just on Brentford, just really excited to see that they've been able to reset under a new manager and they are still able to, I think they won 2 in a row. They won back-to-back games in the Premier League. Yeah, so I think that they should be able to. I think that they'll have a good season, which is slightly different from the way I was feeling about them at the start of the season.
Well, should be a good game. Let me get to the message box and we'll get some messages in a bit. Well, we're looking at the game between Villarreal and Rayo Vallecano. Ghana's Thomas Partey has put in a pretty decent shift in this game. Started the game, he's played almost the entire duration of the game, actually. I don't think he's done that since he moved to Villarreal. This would be a rare 90 minutes for him. So very good game. In that, let me read a few messages. Priest from McCarthy Hill says Kamaldeen wasn't offside. It was rather Zappacosta from the first phase of play. I think they showed that. This one here is from David from Spintex. Says Chelsea must beat Tottenham today and push them high up the table. I'm also backing United to win today because of that man Marinakis. Felix Tomili says that tomorrow my team City is winning. He says I'm serious. I'm not sure why you need to be serious for Manchester City to win. Jonas Tinkrai says that Xavi Simons definitely has an assist. I remember that. He registered that against West Ham United. I think he came on in that game. They were struggling and then he found the assist for them. So Simons with an assist at least for Spurs. So yes, appreciate that one. That's what's coming in so far. Let's get into more talk, but the text and WhatsApp lines are active. You can text into the show 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. So the young man we were discussing earlier, Nicolo Zaniolo, has given Udinese the lead against Atalanta. Let's watch that goal again and then we can walk you through the sequence. So cross comes in low. Oh, fantastic finish. Didn't break a sweat, didn't do much. That was such a really well taken goal. Nice, well driven cross, and then he just met the lefty into the opposite corner. Really good goal. Very, very good goal from Nicolo Zaniolo. Goalkeeper completely rooted to the spot, doing nothing about that one. So 1-0, Udinese lead Atalanta. That's how that game is playing out so far. When you get to the Premier League, we've gone through 2 of the matches already. Let's now get into that Burnley versus Arsenal game. We have lineups for that one as well. So let's really dive into it right away as we go. So Martin Dubravka is the goalkeeper for Burnley, one of a few veterans in the team. They have Kyle Walker at right back and the Dutchman Quilindeci Hartman at left back. Maxime Estive and Axel Tuanzebe will be the centre backs for this one. Josh Cullen and Florentino Lewis. Florentino Lewis is a very hard tackling Portuguese defensive midfielder. Bought him from Benfica, I believe. And then they have Jaden Anthony, who's been in decent form for Burnley, alongside Leslie Ugochukwu and Josh Lauren, as well as Zian Fleming. So, very championship looking lineup. They have a few Premier League caliber players, but minus that, Burnley haven't done too badly. When you get to the side of Arsenal, David Raya is in post. It's a 4-3-3. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori. Rice, Eze, and Zubimendi. Trossard, Gyökeres, and Saka. That's how Arsenal line up for this game. Yeah, let me start off with you on that one. Arsenal won their last game by a lone goal against Palace. Playing well, defending well. There's still minor concerns about not scoring or not feeding their big money signing enough, and he's having to feed on scraps. Is this? I mean, do you look at this being a difficult game where they need to smash and grab, or you think that they can dominate Burnley, walk away with 3 points, and just extend the lead at the top?
Yes, I honestly believe they can dominate Burnley, and they should dominate Burnley. And the selection reflects exactly these intentions, because this time around you have Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi in midfield playing alongside Eberechi Eze. So what that means is that he's created enough room for one guy to be able to not necessarily be overly burdened or concerned with defensive responsibilities or duties the way you would have Martin Odegaard do, because every time that he plays, yes, he's tasked with creating through the middle, but there was always a sense of he having that bit of awareness about him to be able to constantly be around the defensive midfielders. That's Declan Rice and a few months ago Thomas Partey, to be able to step in and also put in a decent shift. I don't see that happening with Eberechi Eze, knowing very well that once you have Martin Zubimendi and Declan Rice and they're playing against Burnley, I don't think you should be overly concerned about having your main creative midfielder having to drop a little bit deep and defend at the same time. So, I think it's pretty much straightforward. A very expected lineup with Leandro Trossard coming in on the left side of that three-man attack, in for Gabriel Martinelli, who has missed this game because of a knock. And so, pretty much straightforward lineup, and I expect a straightforward result, as in a winning result from Arsenal. Nothing too fancy, nothing extravagant, as many people would expect. Arsenal should beat them 4-0, beat Burnley 4-0.
Play champagne football to go with it.
I don't see that. You see them dominating possession, but not in the way that they are running circles around the opposing team. No, they will just be maintaining possession, playing square passes, back passes, just to ensure that they are stable and they are organized. That's the key. That's the key things that they are looking out for. They are stable, organized, in proper shape and in proper position to defend the counter attack in case they gift away possession, or there's a loose ball in there. Those things are what they primarily, from where I sit, they primarily focus on, knowing very well that they have more than enough quality to get a goal or two. And so those are the things that they focus on. So I don't expect to see them dominate possession in terms of running circles around the opposing team. No, they just play square passes. It's boring to watch, but at the end of the day, it's efficient. They get their job done. They don't concede, and they score just enough goals to be able to win the games and get their 3 points. And I see the same thing happening this afternoon.
Well, Arsenal Football Club looking to extend their lead at the top of the table. My thoughts on Arsenal as well, before we get into some of the other matches. They are top of the table, looking comfortable now. Expectations for this game?
Same. I think Mikel Arteta's greatest realization, I think, since he's become a manager, I think he's adapted really well. I think his adaptation has been really well. I think when he started, he was slightly more expansive and he was willing to not necessarily replicate the Pep Guardiola style, but he also thought the high intensity was the way. And I think over time, he's become more cautious, and there are times where it looks like a problem. Like I think there was a game where they played against Man City this season, where Man City were the ones who were being defensive, and it felt like Arsenal didn't take the initiative and they didn't go out and try and win the game more. And I feel like there are games where it will look like that. There are games where it will look like they are being inhibited, or they are being, as they say in football now, they have the handbrake on. But I think they'll do it efficiently enough to win. Looking at the team, I like how they haven't missed the absence of Odegaard, their captain. I think that goes to how well Eze fits within the team. So in terms of this game, yeah, same. I expect them to dominate the game, and I expect them obviously to score through a set piece and at the right moment. But I expect them to also control the game well enough that it will never be beyond them, if that makes sense. In terms of Burnley, I think they've won back-to-back games, just a bit like Brentford. And that's a bit problematic for the other teams who weren't expecting the promoter teams to do as well. Because if you go back to the previous 2 seasons, all the promoter teams had been relegated. But if you look at the bottom 3 right now, I think it's Wolves, West Ham, and Nottingham Forest. Yeah, and all the other promoter teams, I think Sunderland are in the top 4. Burnley are doing well, winning back-to-back games. And Leeds United too have done well. They've had very solid home form, and I think that's propelled them to have a good campaign. So I think if the other teams are not too careful, the promoter teams might actually just leave them in there. Obviously, I think 2 of the teams in the bottom 3 have changed their managers. West Ham and West Ham have changed their manager. Nottingham Forest. I think Wolves are the only team that they gave their manager a new contract. I think they've made the gamble that he'll, because he was the guy they brought in last season to turn the form around when things went go well. And I think he had a good run last season. I think that's brought him credit. But yeah, I don't think Burnley will win this game. But just an interesting note to point out, the teams that were promoted are actually doing much better than other teams thought. So I think some of the teams at the bottom need to get their act together.
It's cool. I mean, I don't want to see teams come up and then get relegated the same season. It's become a trend in recent times. So hopefully,
but not to see.
It'll be very interesting to see all 3.
That's what I'm saying. Not to even a single one of them, at least. In the 10 games in, not in the bottom. I mean, went into the 10th game week, not in the bottom 3.
They can't hear you. It's a positive for them. So I'm sure they are happy about not being in the relegation.
In terms of Forest going up against United now, I think although it looks like they have a lot of time to turn things around. Like I said, we're going into 10 games now. That's more than a third of the season. We're almost into a third of the season now. Yeah, so I think they also need to start winning games. And as good as United have been recently, I think they can also look at this game and see it as an opportunity to start picking up points.
Well, another team that will want to at least keep a clean sheet today and also pick up points will be Brighton and Hove Albion. They are at the Amex. They play a 4-2-3-1. They're up against Leeds United. That's like a mini rivalry of some sort. You have Bart Verbruggen in post. They have Vifa, Dunk, Van Hecke, and Cardiolu. And then they have Yasin Ayari and Carlos Baleba, soon to be Man United's DM, according to some people. Yankuba Bente, Rata, and Diego Gomez, and then Danny Welbeck leading the line. So Welbeck locking down that number 1 striker spot for Brighton and Hove Albion. It would be interesting to see Welbeck's own World Cup prospect, super sub for the 3 Lions, maybe. Throw him on 5 minutes when you need something. I don't know. Could be possible. That's what it looks like. But when you go to the other side, Lucas Perry is in post 4-3-3. Is what Leeds United are doing. Gabriel Goodmanson, Yakabio, and Joe Rodon. Jaden Bogo make up the back 4. Tanaka, Ethan Ampedu, and Sean Longstaff in the middle. And then they have Brendan Aronson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Noah Okafor. Leeds have a pretty decent team, actually. Also doing well. I think they recruited well, and that's how come they are not in the relegation zone so far. But let me get your thoughts on this, Yao. First, on Brighton. On their clean sheet issues, they've never had problems scoring goals, but they can't seem to keep any team from scoring on them as well. If you look at the table, they're currently 13th. I'm looking at their last couple of matches. So they lost their last game, I believe, to I think it was Man United
Yeah, they lost their last game
Yes,
to Man United.
Man United,
4
they
goals to 2. Yeah.
yes, so they've played a couple of other games as well, but that game, like you rightly mentioned, was a close shave. They came close. In the end, they couldn't see it through, but it was just a case of them leaking too many goals once again. Can they keep opponents from scoring, and can they pick up 3 points today?
No, they can't. They can't keep opponents from scoring, and it's not just because they play in the English Premier League. No, it's because of the style. They are married to the style, and they are okay with it. They've been okay with it since the days of Graham Potter, since De Zerbi. They've been okay with it, and I don't see them changing their style anytime soon. That's their identity. So they live and die by that identity. So it's just one of those situations where you leverage or you judge the lows and the highs. And when you look at the highs, there are several highs. That's the reason why they've maintained their position or their spots in the English Premier League all these years, and have made more than enough forays into Europe and competed in the Europa League, Conference League, and all that. And so, yeah, it's risky. It's a risky system or style. But at the end of the day, it's gotten them this far, and so I don't see them changing anytime soon. Because you look at that game, for instance, against Man United, that there were 2 goals that Man United scored that came off direct possession that they picked from Brighton and Hove Albion losing possession, and they instantly turned it around and they scored a goal. In those instances, they scored twice, and so it's just a situation where if you are playing against a team, and this is Man United, imagine what will happen if you are playing against a team like AFC Bournemouth, who will hound you and force you to make mistakes, and as soon as they get the ball, they are in transition. They just want to generate turnovers and create turnovers and score as many goals off turnovers, because they know that, let's say, if you park the bus, quote unquote, and play very deep, it will be quite difficult for them to be able to create through the middle. Their most likely outlets will come from the wings, and so if they are to increase their chances of creating chances and scoring goals, they would have to add creativity from the middle. And how do you add creativity from the middle if you do not have creative players? Because who do they have in midfield? Christie, they have Tyler Adams. They are not guys who do those things. Justin Kluivert can do 1 or 2 things, but he's not an Odegaard. That's pretty much the thing. He's not, let's say, Mesut Ozil. I'm going way too high on this one, but that's not who he is. And so you have to create turnovers to be able to create chances through the middle. And so if you are Brighton and Hove Albion, you play with Louis Dunk, Van Hecker. They are not the fastest, but you still play with a very high line. You are definitely going to concede some goals in there when you are playing out from the back, which is risky. And on top of that, you deploy central defenders who aren't necessarily the fastest. So these things, it will come up. They will concede goals, but at the end of the day, as long as the goals that they concede aren't turning into so many losses that will get them relegated and falling down the pecking order, but it keeps them in the Premier League year in, year out, and in some cases gets them to participate in European competition, I think they are not running away from that style anytime soon. So yeah, it's risky, but at the end of the day, it's rewarding so far for them.
Risky and rewarding. Just 3 minutes from kickoff, yeah.
Just on Brighton quickly, I think what they need to find this season is consistency. Because looking at their record, they've had 3 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws. And I think their 3 wins have been against Man City, Newcastle, and Chelsea.
Wow.
And they've drawn with Fulham, they've drawn with Wolves, and they've lost to Everton. I think he needs to.
Very funny team.
Very funny, and that's what I'm saying. I think they just need to, because they can play well at their best, and it can't be just a matter of getting pumped for the game. I'd like to believe that professional football
beating potential title contenders and can't seem to find wins against mid-table and relegation strugglers.
I think they just need to find a way to be consistent and play better. I've had that slight problem with Hessler. I don't think he's had as much of an impact as De Zerbi or Potter did.
He's just thrived.
He's just been a little mid-table, which isn't what they're looking. I think they were looking to make
fire him if he doesn't get anything going.
I think they'd keep him to the end of the season and then just make a different change.
At the end of the season, they'll
keep him at the end of the season. Then they just try and make a.
That's if he doesn't get into a relegation dogfight.
I don't think so. Because there are just way too many teams that have fallen off.
Mm-hmm.
And the gap is a little bit too.
I worry about them just because of how many goals they concede. They just concede too many goals, like an average of 2 or 3 goals every game. That's crazy. I don't know, but if you, it doesn't matter how many you are scoring. If you are conceding 2 or 3 goals every game, look at this. So they scored 14 and conceded 15. So goal difference of -1 already. Danny Welbeck is on 5 goals. And those 5 have come in his last 4 matches, so he's heating up at just the right time. Hopefully he gets to test his skills up against Leeds United in today's encounter. When you get to, I think we have one more match. There's okay, so those are the 3 p.m. games. Really, we've gone through all of them. Kickoff literally upon us with the Nottingham Forest and United game. I'll read a few of your messages in a bit. This is the Republic of Football. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Those are the text and WhatsApp lines. Give me a prediction for Nottingham Forest versus Man United. Who's winning this? Who's scoring the goals? And how many goals are we getting in this one? I can give you a prediction for Leeds United and Brighton. I tell you that it's both teams to score. Don't say I didn't do anything good for you at the end of the day. Both teams to score over 2.5. No, I'm in the spirit. I mean, don't say I didn't do anything good for you. Those are 2 teams that can't keep a clean sheet to save their life. So I'm expecting there to be a lot of errors. I'm expecting it to be open, end-to-end type of football. United versus Forest has just
but Fulham and Wolves, I also see that game also having quite a number of goals. Fulham and Wolves. Yeah, Wolves can't stop anybody, but they'll find a way to score at least 1 goal.
They've been quite good. Like they still lose, but they've been quite good. Yeah. Even in midweek against Chelsea, they managed to score 3 times. Yeah. They've actually had games where they've been in the games. Against Burnley last week, was it? They got the game back to 2-2 and then still ended up losing 3-2.
Sounds like relegation form to me.
Yeah, because they keep on making some silly mistakes. Yeah. Because you look at that game against Chelsea, for instance, kept on insisting on passing out from the back, and they committed errors or turnovers that directly led to goals that they conceded. Among the 4 goals that they conceded that day, and so there's no. You don't have to always play out from the back. Just sometimes hit it long. So those are the things that has really cost them a number of points and has put them in this position where they are ranked bottom of the standings. Other than that, they should have been able to pick up at least a win and a couple of draws during the stretch for them to be able to rank, like, let's say 17th or even 16th. But they haven't done that. Always trying to pass out from the back.
Well, early exchanges from United. This United jersey is decent, you know. I don't like United jerseys mostly, but this is decent. Black jersey with gold and blue trims.
Just on Atalanta. Ivan Juric is not doing it that much for me.
Ivan Juric,
especially because
Ivan Juric.
I'm surprised they got him. And if you look at the table, I think Roma are first. Roma are level top with Napoli. with 21 points, and Gasperini has gone there and made them title contenders immediately. And
they didn't need to buy Ronaldo and Messi.
They've only won 2 games all season, Atalanta so far, and it's I was surprised at the change in direction. How immediately going from a proven man like Gasperini to
Ivan Juric.
I was even shocked by the
Ivan Juric has had like 3 jobs. He's had like 3 jobs in the last 18 months.
Yeah.
He was at Torino. He was at Torino, and then he went to Roma.
He was sacked by Roma.
Made a stop at Roma. That's crazy.
Before he was sacked by Southampton, and
that's like 4 jobs then. 4 jobs in 18 months is a big red flag. I don't know who is.
I was surprised that Gasperini left at the end of last season.
Why not? I think he's maxed out at Atlanta. He's maxed out.
And I was pointing out that if you finish your
I don't
point,
I don't know if the Ademola Lookman issue also sped up the process.
Possible.
Because he fell out like
most of his players were on their way out.
There was a power play and someone had to end up staying, and I think between him and Lookman, I think was a little untenable. I don't think they were going to just immediately go back to having a.
Lookman was trying to get. He was trying to.
Lookman was trying to leave, and they didn't accept the. They didn't accept the offer that came in for him, which I don't know if it's fair. 42 million for Lookman. I don't know how long he has left on his contract, but I would have expected a bit more. But that's. Yeah. Considering the player wants to leave, and given the fact that it's Serie A, it's not a Premier League where there's just 70, 80 million flowing around for players. I thought that was fair value, but it looks like they did not want to lose him. But just looking at the table, I think other than Inter, who I think they went for Christian Kivu, but he was at Parma.
Yeah,
but I think
Ivan Juric is bad. Listen, look at what's going on here. Between 2019, where he was at Hellas Verona, and today. He's had 5 jobs. Hellas Verona, Torino, Roma, Southampton, and now Atalanta. 5 jobs in 6 years.
Yeah, I know the Roma and Southampton jobs didn't go very well.
That's crazy.
Didn't go well at all.
Yeah. So at Roma, he managed just 12 games, I believe, before he was fired. Longest stint was at Torino. That's where he made his name, really. 122 matches played. And then Hellas Verona, he was there for a decent time, 79 matches.
Southampton was about 14 games.
16. Yeah, 16, and then he was given the boot. So
he was relegated, to be fair. So, literally, they didn't extend his contract.
Once they got relegated, then he resigned.
He resigned very magnanimously. I don't know.
Wow, getting relegated at Southampton and getting a job at Atalanta must be nice. So
they could have been trying the Vincent Company route and saying maybe you saw something in the way they're trying to play football.
To be honest, I keep telling people who will listen that is what most teams will have to eventually do, because the proven managers that you want who have trophies in their cabinet to use as collateral for hiring, there aren't a lot of them around these days, and those who are around, most teams don't want their style of football.
And Brentford and Brighton have shown the template. This is our system.
Yeah.
So
we hire people who can play our system.
Who can play the system. It's pretty simple. Look at the number of managers that Brighton have had over the years. Pretty much the same style. Though a few variations here and there, but pretty much the same style. Look at the number of players that they brought in and let go. They come in, the same style. They go, they bring in a different batch, the same style. Carlos Baleba, he could leave today. They will bring in someone from the French league. Someone.
They will bring in another left-footed DM.
And he will fit like a glove. That's how it is. So, like you said, yes, the proven managers, there aren't too many around these days.
You have to take a gamble with a young manager.
You have to look at the system. Then profile the manager that you want or are targeting. How does he fit the system? If he fits the system, irrespective of his record, you go in there and bring him. Because
irrespective of his record.
No,
again, Ivan Juric's record was
but
right.
Isn't that what Bayern did with Company?
Exactly.
It was irrespective of
was
his
not
record.
that bad. Company had at least been promoted the year before.
But
Fair,
He got a record points total in the championship.
But he was really bad in the Premier League. It comes back to your own point that they were banking on his potential. That, you know what, you might not have done great with this team, but we think you have potential with the right tools.
I feel like Juric hasn't shown enough potential for at least a consistent while now. That's what I'm saying. From at least Roma to Southampton,
he's old.
To trust exactly. And
then it don't happen because he's old. He's like 51 years.
To lose Gasperini, the man who's like he took you to a Europa League. He won the Europa League for you. He had a call. He got you into Champions League.
50
got you into Champions League football. Like he got you competing for these trophies, finishing second and third in Serie A. to immediately change that and trust that you can give that to Ivan Juric, and there will be no. I just think it was a risk. I just think it was a necessary risk. That if you had looked at least on his,
who you have hired. That's what I'm saying. There aren't a lot of
but
and Atalanta is a budget team. As much as we might talk about them, a lot of the shiny names that you would want to bring to your team, they will cost you a lot of money. If you want somebody who's
like
name
Spalletti, who just
but
hired.
That's what I'm saying. But they have these things where they are moving their top managers around. So like if you look at Napoli's manager, Conte. He's managed at Napoli. He's managed at Inter.
Yeah, I think that happens in the Serie A lot actually.
Gasperini has been at Atalanta and Roma now. Even if Allegri has been at Juventus, he's been at Inter, AC Milan.
After Atalanta, Gasperini is heading to one of Inter.
Yeah, and now they realized Spalletti at Juventus. Yeah. So and Spalletti has already been at Inter. He just left Napoli and now he's going to Juve. So I think they could have banked on getting a match like a manager who has a higher pedigree. In that regard.
Well, we'll see. Ivan Juric might just...
I mean, again, they could have gone for the Sarri route because Sarri has already been at Lazio and Napoli. And
I'm surprised nobody's picked him up, actually.
I mean, he's at Lazio. Sarri's still at Lazio now.
Okay.
I think he's doing okay now. But I feel like that's what I'm saying. They could have gone for one of these.
I thought he had taken a break a little to do a few things. I don't know.
But look, it was a big risk for Bayern Munich. I think they had to do something out of the box, out of the box thinking, out of the box a move, and it's paid off. And like I said, you have the template. Find the template, then look at who is out there that fits the template. Looking at the players that you are likely to get, then just go out there and get him. And look at what they've turned Vincent Kompany into. I mean, right now, he's one of the hottest managers out there.
Yep. After buying, he's definitely getting another big job.
I like how in hindsight we don't recognize it, but I think there's a lot when they are getting higher that goes into the Pep Guardiola influence that people start. They had that with Maresca. You've had that with Kompany. You've had that with so many different managers. Even with Arteta, Arteta, when there's no way he gets the Arsenal job. There's no way he gets the Arsenal job.
Look at the guy.
Yeah. Marinakis, that's why I say.
Why is he watching the game keenly like that? What's his problem?
Oh yeah, he's looking out for any slippages. In commitment.
No, at this point he should just coach the team himself. Just get your badges and coach the team.
You know, there are some owners who are like that. Like they wish they were on the field doing it, but they can't because you are not athletic enough or you're not young enough.
I don't think they'd have the time to go and do their badges. To be fair, they could maybe pay their way through it. They are quite rich, but I don't think they'd have the time to go and now sit down and go and. And Slot was talking about how they have to do a refresher course every 3 years, and how he was complaining about how he thinks as a manager you learn every day. So why do you still need to every 3 years prove that you still have the?
Oh, I think it's necessary.
I mean,
in 3 years, a lot happens in football.
I'm not even talking about it from a coaching perspective. I'm talking about it from a player's perspective.
As he wants to go play the game.
Play the game himself and see. No. Let them see the game the way he sees it. Because we've had this with basketball, Michael Jordan, where you could tell that sometimes he was sitting on the bench at the time he used to own the Charlotte Hornets. you could tell that he was sitting on the bench and he was looking at some of the players.
He used to be so mad.
He would be mad. He would be so mad on the side. Like
what are they even doing?
What are you doing? And there was this even funny clip where he tapped the back of the head of one of the players. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Get your head in the game. You could tell that. And I've read several reports where he expressed so much anguish and pain that you see the game in a certain way. You want to effect change, but you are not the one who's affecting the change.
I mean, no,
it has to go through someone.
Him speaking on the Insight Excellence thing he doing in the NBA, and he said he wished he could take a magic pill and just go back and play,
just play, you know.
Play the thing that he found addictive is he said he missed comparing himself with what people regard as the best in NBA at the moment, and I think that's what he misses, the competition and being able to prove that. Because in his mind, he still thinks he's better than all these players.
Oh, he is. He feels like that.
And he was slightly annoyed that this is what these kids are saying is the best NBA player. These are the best teams.
And you look at what Marinakis. You look at the way he handles this. He's handled this coaching scenario. It's clear like he sits back and thinks, with these players that are bought for you,
Why
are you still doing this?
Yeah.
Why are you still not? Being
No,
able
I
to
mean,
get
from
the job
a
done?
millionaire's perspective, I get if I just spent 50 million to buy you a striker.
He doesn't
you're telling
think
me
about-
that you can't get a striker to
he
score.
doesn't think about chemistry. He doesn't think about time to like learn the system. He's
No,
not
and
thinking
he's
about
had
all of
success.
that.
He's had success with that. Even with Ange, I think when he was at he owns Olympiacos,
Yeah.
or but he owns one of the Greek teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
Olympiacos.
he owns Olympiacos.
Yeah, Olympiacos. Yeah, and he had Ange there, and they won titles there, and he's had success with this method.
Ah,
with
so
being-
he and Postecoglou
Yeah.
have history.
Yeah, Postol have history, so I think that's why I was surprised that he wasn't able to last that long because they have
39
like they
days.
work together.
39
Like there's a
days.
whole trust thing, and that's why when you
You know,
start
the
someone
Premier
and you
League,
got him,
you see, there's a lot more money involved in the Premier League.
8 games.
The more matches you lose,
8 games.
okay, we have a goal on our hands. Brighton and Hove Albion have scored in their game against Leeds United. Let me bring you the goal scorer.
I bet 39 days.
8
I
games.
get it.
No, I
8
think
games.
he saw. He was like, you know what, this can turn into a relegation fight very quickly, and I don't want that hanging over my head. So let me move out. Danny Welbeck has scored
Yeah.
for Brighton. Welbeck is
Cannot stop scoring.
red hot. That's 6 goals in his last 5 matches.
I still don't see him being able to make the England.
England,
national team.
if he
No.
keeps scoring, they don't have an option. They'll
No,
take
no,
him.
I don't
No,
think
no,
that's
no.
it.
Is he not in the starting?
Kane,
know why.
Kane, Kane
No, you-
can't stop
no,
scoring.
you
and I
put
think
him-
they have
you put
too
him on
many
the bench.
options.
No,
Who are the
you
options?
put him on a bench because then you put him ahead of Oli Watkins when
You
he
see,
returns.
with the World Cup, people like Sancho were occupying space in the last tournament. Sancho won't go. This tournament, it's true.
Oh,
You
but
won't
Sancho is
go.
nowhere near the team right now.
No, but even still,
No, you see,
Phil Foden is completely off color. If the manager, if Tuchel is an honest guy, Phil Foden doesn't get near
Yeah,
that
but yes,
starting
but that's
unit.
what I'm saying. These are players who are
Yeah.
not already in the setup as
Yeah.
it stands at the
No,
moment.
but
yeah,
right now,
but
look,
Jude
right now
Jude
he's
Bellingham
playing,
didn't play the last time for England.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham wasn't in the England national team the last time they played in the last international window. Jack Grealish is doing very well for Everton. He wasn't part of that team
Yeah.
that played it for
No, but
England last.
the only informed guys for England now are Kane and Rashford, if I'm not wrong.
Grealish is there.
Gordon,
No, I'm talking about
Gordon,
the
Gordon's
forwards.
doing quite well for Newcastle.
Decent, but not better than Welbeck. If you want a
I
goal,
mean, if he's
if you're in a
maintaining this.
tournament and you want a
See-
goal, you won't bring Gordon on
No,
over
the
Welbeck.
thing is-
I'm not even saying.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying he plays a prominent role.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that if you have space for 4 or 5 strikers in your team, he should be on that
Arsenal have
flight.
taken the lead.
Well, Arsenal
I'm
have scored
surprised.
13 minutes. Let's just check that out real quick. Kyle Walker looks mad.
It was a set piece.
It was.
I'm assuming right now that it was
I
a
think
set
I'm
piece.
very sure 90% it was. Let's see that again. Looks like it was Gyökeres.
Yeah.
Had missed out on scoring in the league for a minute. You were right. So you were right. So ball floated in to the far post, headed back across, I believe, by Calafiori. Okay, so missed. Who was that? Timber.
Timber. I think it was
Yeah, Timber dinged that ball back in, and then Gyökeres was there to head from point blank range. This is a good goal.
It was Gabriel. Yeah, it was Gabriel.
Gabriel, okay.
Yeah, it's
Very
always.
simple
I don't know
goal.
how they always find his head.
Yeah.
But he seems to always be at the end of every
If
set
you look
piece.
at the routine that they run
Ah,
out,
this is
Another game, another Arsenal dead ball
look
goal.
at their positioning. About 4 Arsenal players move to
but
the far
Okay.
end of the post.
Hold on, we have another goal. Fulham have scored in their game against Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yeah, they'll
let
be
me
goals.
let me get you the goal scorer from that game. Ryan Sessegnon from Raul Jimenez. So Jimenez with the assist. Sessegnon is cooking.
Yeah, he's had a really good season.
Yeah,
I think
he-
since he went back, since the Spurs moved in work and he went back, he's been
Yeah.
really good. How frustrating would it be as a manager to play Arsenal right
Mm-hmm.
now, knowing that their main threat is a set piece, and then you go and concede from a set piece? And
Right.
the thing is, they can't be doing anything extraordinary.
In fact,
No,
now
they are
when I watch
I mean, it's
Arsenal games,
blocking.
I can tell that teams are consciously trying
That's
to
the thing.
avoid
I think that I
corners.
think it's a mental thing where when they have a set piece, teams are now so scared that they will score that they are more
it's part
they are
of
more
it.
self-conscious when they are
No, it's
defending
part
and
of
they are
it.
unable to actually defend properly.
Exactly
Because they
Yeah.
I get that they are blocking players, okay, they are, but there are so many good analysts in the Premier League.
Let me
It's
tell
been
you-
it's been over a season now.
No, it's
There are so many
because
good
they are-
venue analysts. There are so, no, I
Because
get what you're saying.
I'll
Over
tell you
the
something,
first 3
right?
games, yeah, maybe.
I'll tell you something. And we were having this conversation with Coach last time. I personally think that we give teams a lot of stick, but corner kicks are extremely difficult to defend if you are doing the delivery right and if the routine is right. One of the things defenders struggle with the most is aerial balls. Like when you put the ball in the air, you don't control the trajectory. It can land in front of you, it can land behind you, the wind can blow it. There are a lot of things going on when you are doing crosses. So it's easier said than done if we are being honest. And I think that for Arsenal Football Club, they've spent a lot of pain, a lot of time trying to master this. A lot of teams were complaining about them in the beginning and how it was this and it was that. I've seen a lot of teams trying to take a page out of their book as far as the dead ball thing is concerned.
So Arteta has changed that around. That's what I'll give him credit for. Because I think before there's a good study that has gone to, but it's only about 2% of corners lead to goal.
Exactly.
Only about 20% lead to a shot on target. And I think Arteta has twisted around. He's like, oh, how can we increase that 2% to 4%?
I want to see their numbers now
to 10%. For Arsenal in particular, I think it would be impressive, especially look at the number of their goals.
I'm going to check out how many goals they've scored from dead balls this season already. I'll find that for you in a bit.
I think it's about 10, but please check.
10 already.
I think they're in double figures for goals scored from set pieces.
Difficult to
defend.
No, even the goal last week, the goal from the corner, that it was same thing. The crosses
came into the box.
Gabriel scored, and then Izzy got the
rebound
back. And they're not even scoring from like
traditional corners
they're
again.
Scoring from
they are varied
deflections and it's
because at the end of the day,
I like it to be honest.
Once the delivery is good, and most of the time they are good because it's coming from Declan Rice. The wind or the air affects
everything,
the trajectory of the ball.
And
on top of that,
it's true.
But that's the reason why you don't play all these hand sports in outdoors. You play it indoors because once you play the ball,
really affect the ball.
Wind can affect.
No, it's not about the wind speed. It's about I understand everything. My point is about what are they doing more exceptionally that other teams have not tried before.
I'm coming to it.
And defensively and
once you swing the ball into the
set
box,
pieces,
and it's very difficult for defenders to track the ball and at the same time track their man. We've seen several instances where corner goals are scored from corner kicks because the defender is hell bent on tracking the runner or his man, but he's not looking at.
You can do so much.
Like look at them at the corner now.
And
He's pointing here, stand here, go here.
They are doing a lot of micromanaging and a lot of communicating. And one of the things I love about the Arsenal dead ball routines that most teams can't seem to deal with is that they dedicate a marker to the goalkeeper. Now look at this. Ball goes in again. Somebody, have you seen it? Somebody is right in front of the goalkeeper. He's not touching the goalkeeper, but he's occupying the goalkeeper to make sure that
people blocking the goalkeepers.
And teams don't know how to defend it. Have you seen it? When a ball is floated into your box and your goalkeeper is helpless, if it is headed across, there's nothing anybody can do. I think Arsenal just have. They just built.
I'll give you an example
over time, and its reputation.
Yes, I'll give you an example. The goal they scored before the corner kick attempt was floated in. There were 4 Arsenal players who had separated themselves from the middle pack. The players who were inside the penalty box. As soon as the ball was floated in, they came rushing in. Then they picked players. They screened this player. They screened that player. And it gave Gabriel Magalhaes the chance to be able to just get the ball back into the middle of the penalty box. Gyökeres was there. He just
and to even buttress what you're saying, right?
They've practiced
and they have seen at least 4 or 5 different variations of the things.
And I think there's a thing where I think they have a man. One of the tactics is they have a man stand at the head of the box, and so despite all the movement you do, at some point he has a better view than the person taking the corner. Even if you change the way you are defending it, he can now signal the person to then change the delivery to now know whether it's.
Even from what you are saying, they can start off in the box with you and make it look like it's a man-to-man. The moment the cross goes up in the air, players will move. There will be new players coming in. Now, as a defender, you don't know who you are marking.
Seems to end up on Gabriel's head.
It makes a lot of sense because maybe clearly, see, some people in basketball, there's something called a ball hawk. There are players who literally know how to follow a ball. They know if the ball bounces off the bar, he will find it. If the ball bounces off this, then he will find it.
Yes.
And you make a good point about some of this being mental, right? Again, I'll make another basketball reference. It's just like the shot blocker. When you are playing basketball and your shot has been blocked like 3 times when you try to go for a layup, what the shot blocker does is that he gets in your head. Now, when you are going to a layup, you are hearing people behind you. That's what Arsenal is doing to teams now. Whenever they get a corner kick, teams are in panic mode. Hey, is Gabriel coming to the near post? Is he going to the far post? Where is he popping up? You are overthinking a lot of things. That alone it's an advantage for them.
And just like basketball, there are plays. And I honestly believe Nikola Jova, the set piece coach for Arsenal, he's drawn a play.
He does.
He draws a play because look at the routine that they executed.
Yep.
Two different routines, completely different.
Yep.
It's just like American football. The quarterback, all of them, you see scrolls upon plays on their wrist. It's different.
Whenever they are holding these clipboards, those are the things that are on the clipboards.
Those are the things that they say. Then they'll put a fancy name for that play, like Wyoming Y. Then they know what to do, how to run that play.
Just cause havoc from another one.
Yes, I think Arsenal. Yes, that's what they do. It's
amazing,
and it's compounding every time it happens. So it feels like it gets into.
I've been enjoying the conversation on the Arsenal set piece thing.
Yeah.
Look, truth be told, because they are doing very well. But again, to the defending teams,
No,
how many times have it not been that obvious that there's one proper target man on all those set pieces?
That's the point. That's what saying.
As much as they are varying the
so
routine,
for
there's
me-
one person who is always seeming to be there.
Exactly, and he's the one.
The point.
Isn't the credit to the player?
It is credit to the player and discredit to the opposing team. That's the point I'm making. Because look at this man, is going.
Arsenal wasting a one-on-one
You understand?
opportunity.
They
Bukayo
look more
Saka.
dangerous from corners than one-on-one. to be fair.
Arsenal football. That was a big chance missed by Bukayo Saka. Still 1-0. United are still goalless. Coach, make your point.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, at the end of the day, you will want to get your most influential defenders to do the marking against those very obvious targets of Arsenal. You understand? I am aware. Look, I don't know, but it is very clear that if you are defending a set piece against Arsenal, all you need to do is to get the ball across actually to Gabriel. The other guys are doing.
They are decoys.
They are decoys, and they are being taxed to do something else.
Screen players.
So
Screen,
someone is
protecting,
blocking your
block
keeper.
this,
Get
and
someone
then he
to block
gets-
the person on the
So,
keeper. Like
I don't get it. If he is the clear
Yeah.
obvious choice,
Yeah.
there
Look,
has to be a way of
and no,
defending.
and Ben, I'm sorry, y'all. You remember the goal that Gyökeres just scored? They scored the same goal in the Champions League. If you remember.
Yep.
Yes,
And
yes,
they
yes,
Ball
scored
to the
the
far
exact
post,
same goal.
clip
Like
back,
they
and then
repeated
point
plays. It's
blank.
not like every play is a brand new
Look,
play. They
if-
repeated plays.
I think it's
and
genius.
Me, I'll just go back to
Yeah.
unfortunately another basketball analogy. Phil Jackson's Chicago Bulls. You knew they were going to run the triangle offense,
But there's nothing you
there's
can do
nothing
about
you can do about it.
Something can be done
You
about
practice it. You practice defending against it.
Yeah.
You
It's
you
just
try
like
every
coach,
scenario.
it's just like
But you
the
can't
Iron
stop
Robin,
it.
the Iron Robin junction. You know the curtain is coming. You know the
But
Keller
no,
is
but that's
coming.
different. That one,
But-
he has the ball constantly. There are about 3 or 4 things that need to happen for
That's
Gabriel
it
to
too.
get the ball.
That-
If it was
That's
just
it.
on him,
Which is why
That's what
I'm
saying.
shocked that you guys think, because it is more complex to defend that. Because look,
No.
there are many variations of a corner kick.
That's what I'm saying. That of all the variations,
Yeah.
if you can get somebody like Gabriel, you don't do man-on-man marking on him on the set piece. You get 2 players, one in front of him, one behind him.
Yeah.
You need to put him in the middle, and they cannot be any players at all. Maybe one
To be
very
your
good header
top,
of the ball.
your tall players.
You understand? Once that is done, because in terms of numbers, you've got the numbers. The defending team, I mean. You remember that last week I took you through
Yeah.
defensively
What it
why
takes?
it is so unfair for most often than none you having a team, the team that is taking the corner kicks, getting at the on the end of the move. It is just not
Wow,
proper.
that's
That's
a good-
a good pass, a chance for Nottingham Forest. I think he messed it
That
up.
is such a terrible decision.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The credit must be given to, I think, Luke Shaw or Matisse Delete.
yeah. Look, as
I
for
think that's the
as for
lead.
Arsenal Football Club, I think that as for Gabriel, at this point, he's the king of dead balls. He's a smart player for having scored so many goals and still managed not to be figured out
And
by
that's what I'm saying.
defenders.
So push them
Brilliant.
to innovate. That's my
Yeah.
whole point. Like,
Well-
push them to do more. If this is the tactic, if maybe okay, 2 players go on Gabriel and they
Yeah.
find a different target man, then fine, do it that way. But at this point, it seems like they found out a way to.
I mean, because if you take out Gabriel Magalhaes, there's also William Saliba. There's also Calafiori. How many times have we not seen Calafiori score from set pieces?
No,
Now,
Saliba is not too dominant.
No,
from the air.
but
all
he-
of them
he
are
has-
not.
And then on top of that, now they've brought in Victor Gyökeres.
Yeah.
Yes, they are not feeding him as many
on
times
set piece
as you would
is
want.
not going to win the ball of anybody.
Yes, but he's a big
At the
body.
very
you have to-
first time of action, he's not going to win it.
but he's a big body that you have to account for.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's the- and it helps out their whole
I think they are doing something right. Anyway, let me shout out my YouTube people. You are still listening to the Republic of Football. Authentic BBF says, I hope Barca have a good weekend. Sweet Kwame says Nimli is in. This one, Sweet Kwame again says Welbeck is better than Gordon. Isaac K2 says, as a United fan, nothing would make me happier than us going on a 4-game win streak. United fans haven't felt this good in a long while. Mark Vision says United go win by 3-1.
Right.
And
Mr.
then-
Wood is injured, eh?
Yeah, it looks like Chris Wood is out with an injury, so they are starting the Brazilian Igor in the mix today. Let me just run you through the scores again.
Just a quick.
Yeah.
I still don't see Danny Welbeck making the England national team. Not necessarily because, let's say, even if he maintains this
On an
form-
age thing,
not on an age thing necessarily, but at the end of the day, you look at the England setup, the way they are loaded with wingers and wing forwards. I think they will make just. Ooh, that's a good shot.
ooh,
I think they will take as many as possible, and what that means is it will just reduce the number of spaces for central
actual
forwards.
strikers.
And that's why you have just Harry Kane and room for another player.
Who would
and
that be?
likely
You see.
it's going to be Oli Watkins.
You see, it would be so unwise not to take an experienced player who's on form to a major tournament.
5 minutes,
like
10
the World
minutes,
Cup.
15 minutes.
We saw this same England team rescue it in the Euros when they hired Ivan Toney. You remember that game against?
You
was
always-
it- you see,
You always need a
you
player
throw
like
something
that.
in there, and then the dynamic changes.
Yeah,
So what Thomas
yeah. Tuchel.
Tuchel will do? Don't forget, he's an experienced manager. I think that should Welbeck continue with this form,
Yeah, he beats out a guy like Watkins. I think so.
not necessarily. What would it cost if you had to go to the tournament having 3 strikers?
That's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah, of course they will.
just
It
to
wouldn't
contrast
cost
it,
a
his first England squad, he named Bowen, Foden, Gordon, Kane, Rashford, and Solanke. In his last squad, he named Bowen, Eze, Gordon, Kane, Rashford, Saka, and Watkins.
Relax. So the
Solanke,
first one- no,
Solanke.
No, at that time,
No, no,
Solanke he was in form.
And that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So now his
So-
strikers he named were Kane, Rashford, and Watkins.
Kane, Rashford, and Watkins.
With Bowen as the
Yes,
backup can play through the
Rashford,
middle if you need to.
Watkins, and Harry Kane. You know that Rashford isn't going to be deployed through the middle. It's Watkins and Harry Kane. That's
But
what I'm
Watkins,
saying, like,
but he can-
I don't
way
think
too
that
many-
Watkins doesn't have a lockdown place.
But
in this
that's a factual
He does
point.
not.
That if he's in better form than
And he
Watkins,
goes ahead
and
of
it's just for a
Watkins.
backup
Yeah, yeah.
player.
I don't think he will go.
and he's a way better finisher than
and
Watkins.
he was actually in the 2018 World Cup
he can,
squad.
he can finish in the
Like, he
air.
was-
He can finish
25. That's 7 years.
left
ago.
foot, right foot, and this season he has shown us that dead free kick crowd beats me.
But
So
can you even
I
trust
mean,
that
come
he'll
on.
be healthy when you need him at the World Cup?
Oh,
Welbeck?
Welbeck
Yes.
is fit.
Oh, well, let's. I think
Good season.
at least the last 3 seasons, he's played a lot of football, which is kind of crazy because his earlier years, which were his younger, healthier years, he spent a lot
Yeah,
of those
injury
injured
though.
and this. So he's having a very interesting career.
Just one
Very
of the
interesting.
midfield, he had Rodgers and Gibbs White, who are players he could also play as forward. So I think they are
Exactly.
slightly
So, that's what I'm
overstacked
saying,
in that
like,
position.
Danny Welbeck, I don't
No, but
see it.
in this form,
Players
in
like
this form, I
players
think
like
he could.
Rogers and
Gibbs White.
Gibbs White.
They
are not-
Well, he's not going to
You
play
see,
them as
they
forwards.
will
but-
always be involved in the build-up.
Yep.
But when you are chasing the game in the
You
tournament,
need. You see,
you
that's
don't
what
need
buy-
too many touches
Yeah.
on the ball.
Me,
There has to be a focus.
if you've seen Thomas Tuchel's teams, they labor to actually create chances, especially when they are playing opposition that is on their level. They only seem to open up teams when they are playing Malta, Moldova,
Yeah.
Estonia, those teams. Those are really, but you see, the World Cup, everybody can play, and so you will be in tight games where you need the striker who can get beyond the line. Crystal Palace have scored in their game against Brentford. I will give you the name in a bit. Jean-Philippe Mateta is red hot. Everybody's trying to go to the World Cup for their country, you know. Even Mateta, if you had told any Frenchman like 8-10 months ago that Mateta would be knocking on the doors of a France World Cup ticket, they would have called you crazy. But Mateta is doing it. So, like Coach rightly says, form will determine a lot of things. I think a lot of players will want to go. A lot of players will think they should go, but form won't allow a lot of them to do it. Farouk Headliner says, my Chelsea, do something. We'll get into talk of that game very soon, that Chelsea versus Spurs game. Chelsea are away from home in that one. Ironically, Spurs have not been really good at home this season, but it's still goalless between United and Forest. United are away from home. Coach, just quick impressions on what you followed from this game so far. Not the cagiest of games. I'm surprised we haven't seen more goal scoring chances.
You see, at the end of the Arsenal had a big chance.
Ooh,
wow.
Cleared on the line.
They've cleared that ball on the line.
Arsenal should have scored by at least 3 by now. Looking like they want to retool that chance. Well, I think I think that chance is gone. United are also trying to create something in Mbumo.
That's a good header.
Very
Good defensive.
I think Forest have some of my favorite centre backs in the league. Daniel
Murillo,
Murillo,
Milenkovic.
Man, is Milenkovic not the guy from Fiorentina?
Yeah.
He is extremely
for
good.
Serbia.
Extremely good.
He's a good,
Very
big
business-like centre back, like my type of centre back. No nonsense. Gets the ball done, head the ball out of the way.
And Murillo is the type who is big, bulky, but
Has some finesse to the game. Yep.
Yeah, he has a technique.
He's a lefty.
Yeah, lefty.
Very interesting. I don't know if anybody's noticing, but a lot of lefty centre backs are emerging. I'm not sure why or how.
Because they're in demand.
A lot of them are in
high
demand.
demand.
I mean, it is best for the
balance
of the team.
They're in high demand.
Yeah, because I'm just. Don't they have Morato as well?
United have taken the lead.
Man United have
Casemiro,
scored. Man United have scored.
Morato hasn't settled well.
Yeah, he's also a lefty actually. So United up in the 33rd minute. Sondijk is mad.
That's it.
His team normally will not concede.
There you go. So let's see this again, and then we'll try and see if we can break it down for you. But Casemiro has given Man United a 1-0 lead in the 33rd minute against Nottingham Forest. Diego Dallo is saying a lot of things in Casemiro's face, and he's speaking Portuguese to me. I want to know what he's telling him exactly, but
I don't think the ball went out though.
The
ball did.
the full
The whole ball has to go out. The ball didn't go out.
On the second,
It didn't go out.
Okay, it didn't go
It
out.
didn't go out.
The full
The ball didn't go out.
didn't go out.
Even from normal play, it didn't look like the ball
Yeah.
had gone out of play.
So this is where VR also needs to step
They
in.
can't step in because it's
No,
a
no, I'm
corner.
saying
Yeah,
like
that's
this
what I'm
is
saying,
where
and
it
that's what I'm
needs to-
saying. That's a
yeah.
problem.
see, if you were to allow Vieira to step in all these things,
No, a goal was scored, so you can review it.
No, that's the whole point.
It
It's
could have
about
too
making
far.
a decision.
It's too far gone. I think.
not too far gone, but I
because
think
it
the
came
point
from
Yao makes-
directly from the corner
From the
kick.
corner kick.
Yes,
but
that
you
that's the
cannot
point
review
made.
the
I think,
goal.
and I
You
think
can-
that's why Sondijk is upset.
Yeah, they should have reviewed whether it went out,
Out
or
or
not.
not.
No, but you
before
can't.
the
You can't. That's
can't
you
just
can't do that. That's the point you are
randomly-
making.
point. So it
No,
cannot
that's the
step
point
in.
you are making, that it will take too long if
Yeah.
you were to review all
Uh-huh.
those decisions. But once
Yes,
it's
but once
consequential,
it leads to a
once it's
direct
They'll have
consequential,
to.
you should
Yes,
be
you
able
have
to
to
review
check
it
it.
because that's the whole point. You are trying to make sure that
Yes,
the
you have
best
to check
decision
it.
has been
Well,
made.
I think
So they should
United
have
would.
gone to check on it
Pro-
now.
probably go
rule
to
out the
check.
If
goal.
there's a reason why the
No,
goal
no,
should
no,
not
no, no,
stand.
no.
Oh,
If
but-
it's going to be checked, it should be checked before the corner kick is
Oh
even
no, no, no,
taken.
no! But but we've seen several goals
No, no,
that are
they can
scored,
pull it back.
then
They can
don't
pull it
pull
back.
because there was an infringement
point
in the
I'm making is
build-up
that-
to the goal.
The point I'm making is that the corner kick is a dead ball situation.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to review something,
It's at the corner kick stage,
That is it.
which is ideally what it should be, but that's not how VR.
VR
they've been
No,
doing.
but I'm saying that-
at the end of the day,
But you can't review every
you
corner.
cannot review
Yes,
after the corner kick had been taken. Say, let's go and see.
No, no. So what would you do? So before every corner, then
the
you would go
point
to
I'm making
the
is that if there's
the-
going to be a review, that review should have been done to check whether indeed the ball went out or not.
no, but
Once
I'm
the-
saying that we can't because there are
Arsenal
several.
Arsenal Football Club. Look, these guys are probably going to win the title at this point. They are looking confident. I think it's another cross. I don't know if it was a dead ball, but this was another cross. Declan Rice header. Arsenal up
I mean, if he-
by 2 goals to 0. Let's see that again. Somebody's complaining over there.
No, it's the assistant coach.
Let me see this again. Kyle Walker's always complaining. I'm not sure what he's
I mean,
always.
he's used to playing with a certain caliber of players, and so if you are playing with
Yeah, so here we have it. Throw in, another dead ball, really. Headed back out.
Counter-attack.
Okay, so counter attack.
Rice leads it.
Let's see how
on
it
the
goes.
right. You see the cross?
Charlie, Declan Rice,
That's
man.
what I'm saying. Use him there.
Charlie, that guy has too much technique. And then comes back into the box and meets. Oh,
that's a
man.
beautiful goal.
Look at that. Look at that stuff. But the cross was really good. Pinpoint,
up.
put right on his head.
Really stood it up.
This is what coach has been calling for Gyökeres. More of this
More
into
of
the
this.
box for Victor Gyökeres. So not so bad. If you cross the ball, you will get results. Arsenal Football Club
That's a proper goal.
up and running. 2-0.
Beautiful.
Look at
Who
them.
gave the final assist? Calafiori?
Trossard.
No, Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard with the
You
cross.
see, if only he would do that for the striker to feed on,
Yeah.
then you know you are in for
The
something good.
league is gone. The league is
You say this with a smile on your face, like you were thinking that Slot will recover and come and win the
I
title.
mean, United are second now, so
That guy is
it's
not
up to
good.
them to save us. But other than that, I think the league is gone.
Arsenal Football Club putting daylight between themselves and their closest contender. So let me see what the table is looking like now. Arsenal up to 25 points as things stand now. United are second on 19. So that's United are second. That doesn't even sound right. Like how did they
Well,
climb
I mean,
up?
Tottenham was where we
Sana
played
Bano.
against Chelsea. No, Tottenham was where we played against Chelsea.
I don't think
so
Spurs. I don't think you think Spurs will be.
I think
Chelsea.
that
Yeah, I
game,
think they-
that
they
game,
can
that,
beat-
that game looks
they
like
can
a,
beat
like a
Chelsea.
score draw. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I told you
So,
guys something. Like
Yeah.
The Premier League in itself has
Yeah.
missed Manchester United being in and among the competitors.
You are a title contender.
No,
Yeah,
not
you
for
are-
this season. Not for this
But you are
season.
contending for the title.
Nobody's
as it stands.
contending for any title, my brother.
So if you are second, so if you are
So Arsenal
so
have
if
won
you
the
are
league.
consistently second, we shouldn't say you are contenders.
No, it's just that we have managed to qualify for Champions League.
Oh, this man.
We don't think we are going to challenge anybody.
So far,
You are
not
the
so.
closest challengers, even if you are not challenging, at least.
Look at Man United up again. Amad Diallo, good pass for Sesko. I think he should have done
But the
better.
thing
Give
is,
him the ball
you,
too.
look, you can't review every corner kick. You can't review every foul. But a foul that directly leads to a goal is reviewed, and sometimes VAR chops it off. Right? So
Which is fair.
exactly. Yeah. So in this situation, the corner kick,
We
you
should all
don't
be
review
aware
it.
that
you shouldn't
corner
review it.
kick.
But once that direct corner kick
There's
leads to a
also,
goal, you should review
No,
it.
corner kicks.
there's
Ah,
also a problem where
chances.
VAR can also directly tell if the ball has crossed the line. There's no goal line technology. The goal line technology doesn't extend beyond that. So all
Beyond
they will
that
be
is
having
it.
would be visual.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Visual,
in this instance, it was evident.
Yes, we
But
saw
there'll be
that the ball-
there'll be
the
instances
the
where they would
full
need to
circumference
slow it
couldn't-
down and
Yeah.
move it left and right, and they would be uncertain.
Oh, looks like Arsenal. Okay, they almost scored.
a third, yeah. Trossard. We should
Nottingham
have done
Forest
better.
also doing their thing.
Didn't do it.
Callum Hudson-Odoi getting busy at the edge of the box there for Forest. I think that that was close. Just needed a touch. That needed just a touch on it, and United would have been in hot waters. Nobody there to touch the
Has
ball.
he always been wearing the 7, Hudson-Odoi?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
think
season.
Yeah.
This season, or
Last season was he not in 7?
No,
I
last
remember
season was
14.
14.
Yeah, I remember
Last
14.
season was
This
in
season.
14. Yeah.
Looks like people have moved along and he has gotten his dream number. So he's doing his own thing over there. I just think he should get more involved in the action. But Arsenal looking very comfortable so far. Burnley have barely threatened in this game.
0 attempts, 0 shots on target. I don't think they came to play. I think they were hoping they could keep it tight, and then later, if they are still in the game,
Try
then
and-
either through a set
Try and
piece
smash
or-
and grab.
Yeah, and once you concede from a set piece, that makes the whole thing very difficult for the team.
Yeah.
So I don't know if in the second half, I don't think you try and make changes. I think you can understand that it's one of those games where you can just charge it and just move on.
Oh, there's a little update. Wolverhampton Wanderers, I think things have gone from bad to worse. They have had a player sent off. Agbadu has been sent off.
Agbadu.
Yeah, he's been sent off for tripping. He's been sent off, so
Yeah,
it's a
but-
red card for him. In there, they're already down by a goal.
Victor Pereira should just resign because he's
No.
done everything possible to get this team to
He said he just signed a new contract.
New contract,
yeah,
new
but-
3-year contract. He's
Oh,
not going anywhere. Unless
they will have to sack him because at the end of the
when
day,
they sack him, he gets money.
He gets
So I don't
money.
think-
He will
I
resign.
don't think he will. Exactly. I don't think he by himself.
Resigning
will
means
resign.
losing your money.
because
No,
look
he's
at
not
this situation.
resigning.
Last season when he got them saved from relegation, he was in the pub drinking with the fans.
Yeah.
Last week,
Wolverhampton.
last week when they considered that late goal against Burnley, he was about to fight the fans. So football changes. So it doesn't matter whether he signed or
Man, that's funny.
No, I mean
It's the
they backed
results.
him. I think that's the thing because you see a lot of teams in that situation just change their managers. I think it was
Yeah.
positive to see them
Yeah.
actually backing the
I
manager
think
for
yes,
once.
it was positive, but at this point, it has to something has to change. And most of the time, it's
To be
the
fair, last
manager.
season I don't think he started that well. He
Wolves-
hit a good run of
No,
form. I think it was 6
see,
or
Wolves-
7 games.
Wolves'
where they-
problem, I don't think it's a managerial problem. It is a quality. It's a player quality
You
problem.
see, and
You
for
have a
them,
point
that is they are a team
Oh, they
owned
have,
by
they have good players.
Agbadu.
the team is
Agbadu and
owned by
Belagad.
mainly
they-
agents and
I mean, but that's how they made it. That's how
The
they made it.
manager
And when they
don't-
had Nuno, it was
don't
working really
truly
well. They had the
control
Portuguese link.
the
but-
players that get bought.
Man told me that this Wolves team is good. But let me open their lineup and show you. They are not good. They had a lot of good players, sold a lot of good players, didn't replace them properly,
That's the thing.
and that's how this team has become what it is. Look at what they have. For instance, at right back,
I mean,
right?
Strand Larsen is what, £50 million player.
Santiago Bueno, Emmanuel Agbadu, and then Totti Gomez. They are not good. They are not good. This is where they are championship level defenders. And then Hugo Bueno. Hugo Bueno is he's a homegrown talent that has been there for I think the last 4 or 5 years.
Maybe the goalkeeper.
So,
Jose
decent.
Sa. Jose Sa
No,
is-
so they're
Sam
playing
Johnston.
with Johnston. They go in
Yeah,
before
Sam
Wolves.
Johnston. Then they have Giancarlo Hoover. I think Hoover's it's an Ajax academy
I
product.
mean, Hoover, Belagard too was very highly rated when he was younger.
And
Strand
then
Larsen,
Marshall-
they got Arias from.
Marshall Munetti and Ladislav Krejci. Come on, bro. This is a
They
relegation
had
team.
Arias was from Fluminense from the Club World Cup. I'm not saying this is a
Ladislav
world-beating team.
Krejci is a winger 10 centre back from the
I mean,
from the
Fair
Serbian league.
Lopez. They had Wang Hee-chan.
Look.
these are.
Oh,
I'm not
Wang
saying.
Hee-chan is past his prime.
Or look at and then look at their bench,
Wang Hee-chan is
right?
past his prime.
Look at their bench. So the bench is made up of Jose Sa, Wolver, Yerson Mosquera, Andre and Joao Gomez should be starting this game. I'm not sure why they're not
That's what I'm
starting.
saying.
They are
Joao
their
Gomez,
best
Wang Hee-chan.
CMs. I don't know why they're
Because
not
they keep
starting.
on gifting the ball away in possession, and that's what has led to direct transitions and led to goals that they've conceded.
Fernando Lopez Gonzalez and then Tolu
The
Arokodare.
truth is, they missed out on that Portuguese connection. What they used to get from, I forgot some of the agents.
It was the guy,
Your guy,
the only
no.
Portuguese
Yeah.
agent, Mendes.
Yeah, Mendes. They had a Mendes, and they used to get really good players. They used to get how do you call it? A lot of Portuguese talent coming in.
Yep.
That's when they had Neves, they had Moutinho, they had
Diogo
Vitinha, they had
Jota,
Vitinha
they
coming
had
in, they
Diogo
had Jota.
But I think now they've
Daniel
missed out on
Podence.
the.
They had such a good
They,
Podence,
I
they
think
had-
they missed out on the
Who was
progression
the,
of these
the Barca
players.
boy who was Portuguese too?
Trincao.
Trincao. Like,
You see, that's the thing. They've missed out on the projection. Or no, not the projection. The progress, the
Yeah.
progression. Because you remember this guy, Fabio Silva.
Yep.
well, Fabio Silva, they just sold him. He was just sold for good money. I don't remember
Yeah,
what he
to
went, but
Dortmund.
he's-
But at the end of the day, he didn't cut it at the
Yeah,
Premier League.
yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Unlike the
Had
other Portuguese.
Vitinha at a
Yes,
point.
and he also was a flop. It's just that the guys that came in the first wave, they settled well.
Yeah.
And so the belief was that, okay, let's continue with that pipeline. But the ones that came subsequently,
To be honest,
didn't
I mean,
develop
Fabio,
as-
Silva, Fabio Silva is scoring in the Champions League.
to be honest, they
He's
haven't been the
Borussia
same.
Dortmund.
They haven't been the same since Nuno left. That's great
the-
season.
and that's the thing,
They
and
had,
I-
and they've not been the same.
And I think that's the same reason Nuno took the West Ham job. I think he's also trying to replicate that success. Because when he
Yeah.
tried at Spurs, and even though Spurs, I think he was sacked. too
Spurs
quickly.
never wanted Nuno.
Spurs, he
Was like their 8th or 6th choice. They
but
went.
he wasn't that
They were,
bad.
they were rejected. No, that's what I'm saying. That you see,
Yeah.
they didn't want to hire him initially. He was way down their pecking order in terms of their preferred choice. Almost all their preferred choices rejected them, and then they ended up hiring him out of desperation. And so it was never probably going to work. But yeah, almost half time. In the 3 p.m. battle of Manchester United still lead by a goal to nil. Goal scored in that game.
Yeah,
Casemiro, yes, with the header from that situation. And then Arsenal lead by 2-0 in their own game as well. Victor Gyökeres is getting on the score sheet. for Arsenal with the first goal. Who got the second goal? Declan Rice, another header.
Just
so
on,
2 headers. Yeah,
just on Fulham. I think they've been on a really bad run. They haven't they've been near the relegation zone. I think Fabio Silva. I said Fabio Silva. Marco Silva. I think he was hoping to build on a really good season. He's been really good since he came back with the Premier League with Fulham, but they haven't been able to start the season. I think if they were able to hold on to win here, which I think will happen, I think this will be a third win of the season. They're on the back of, I think, 4 losses in a row.
Yeah.
So it's good to stem that. But just the teams at the bottom, Wolves have been very disappointing. To go 10 games and not have won a single game at this point in the
they
season.
will be relegated. I've read out their lineups to you. This is a proper championship team. They will get relegated.
To lose 8
they have like
three.
They have like 3 or 4 Premier League caliber players, and those will be taken away from them when they are going down. This ship. This is a ship that's going down. There's no saving for them. No saving for them.
They cannot rescue it.
They can't. They can't.
First 10, not even one way.
Yeah,
No.
8 losses, 2 draws.
No.
And the thing about these things is every defeat brings like a bigger dip in team morale. Every time you lose, your confidence takes like a hit. So
and they were knocked out of the cup in midweek too. So
exactly. And that, which is ironic. That was a very spirited
game.
That was a very spirited performance from them against Chelsea. I remember easily could have won that game. They had a sending,
and they conceded really strange goals, like the last minute goal from getting the Estevao goal. They were all very avoidable goals. So I think it's just, and that's the thing about their games. That's the thing, they have been in games. They haven't been completely bad and lost games by 5-0, 6-0.
Hopefully they can turn it around. Meanwhile, Callum Hudson-Odoi is trying to make a nuisance of himself in that Forest box. He's been active in the first half. I've not liked this so far. I've liked a little bit of the Nottingham Forest play in front of the United box, but their final ball has been poor. They've not been able to test Lomens as much as Sondai could probably have wanted to. And again, he'll be really disappointed with how they considered that goal. Arsenal's game, I believe, has come to a close, at least for the first 45 minutes. They are 2-0 up in their match. Arsenal are cruising, not breaking a sweat, walking peacefully to the dressing room.
You see
the
Galilicious Arsenal players.
When you're winning, everything is nice, you know.
The nonchalant.
They've only lost 1 game all season. That's the defending champions last season, and that was even that game they were in it. It was just Soboslai's free kick. That's
why everybody was disappointed. That's a game they should have won.
That was again that and the Man City game. The 2 games. That's points draw from both games.
Both games
they were much better than, and that's the thing that worried them in other games. When they go up against the big games, that's where the cautious thing from Arteta will become a problem, especially when there's more pressure and it's getting later on to the season. Is he now going to be expansive against these big teams in matches that he knows he needs to win?
Maybe, just maybe, when he has a cushion of points at the top.
I'm not sure.
Maybe he will lose in the.
No, he will not.
No, I don't.
Rather,
I think you calculate that
he will tighten it.
You take that a point is better if he gets a point.
They are the one to unseat me at the top. If I draw with them, whichever gap I came in with,
he keeps the gap.
Maintained.
There's no, and from next week we
But
win
to
our
go and
games
risk
against
it,
the other. Because that's the thing. I heard Saka also speaking about that. To him, the games that they lost are games that they won this season. Like he said, in previous season, going away to Newcastle, he'd have considered that a very tough game for him. But then going away to Newcastle, and these are games that he would have considered very tough. But then these are games that this season they are winning. And I think psychologically that's the thing that's improving for them. They see, for them it was just about they weren't winning games that they in their mind they should have been winning. Games against teams that, again, especially when the pressure is on. I remember a game or 2-3 seasons ago, I think that was under Emery, where they were supposed to beat Brighton. I think they lost to Brighton, and there was this meme, I think Bissouma was laughing at one of the Arsenal players. He said they've had this thing where when the pressure gets going, that's when they're unable to win. But I think at the start of the season, to go to all these places and amass points and get a gap like the way Liverpool did in the season.
I am watching that set piece routine again by Arsenal. Come on, man. It was badly defended. You see, the fact that they put 4 guys there, could you also start the defending by going 1v1 against them? And don't allow them to have the sort of free run.
But then if you defend zonally, how do you...
No, not zonally.
No, something. But if you are defending zonally, that means you have to abandon that and go man to man.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You've got the numbers. In terms of numbers, you've got the numbers in the box. So you can have 1v1 and still have some 2 or 3 other players.
Yeah.
Because look, it's 10v10. They have a player taking the corner kick. If you put one of your strikers out there, he keeps 2 of their players there. Agreed? Because I don't ever think a coach want to gamble 1v1. You put one there, so by so doing, your 10 is 9, their 10 is actually what, 7. So you can say do the 1v1 marking and have some of your players do the zonal marking and attack the ball. Because look, it's becoming clear that because those guys are running freely to attack the ball, they have some form of momentum on their part. And they will definitely win it better off than those players who are standing
I
there.
think that's also a good point with Gabriel. He always seems to be able to get onto the ball while he's on the end of
Why
running.
is he on the run?
And
That's why I think you are underrating it. Look, I think he also watches how teams defend. And one of the things I know about defending is that if you are a defender, for instance, right, and you have to deal with a player who is slippery, right, moves, play the ball, like he's always looking to, it's extremely difficult to keep an eye on him.
This is from a dead ball situation. So at least whatever you can do to make it a bit difficult for them. Because when they are left 4 man at the behind there, and all of them are not running to this, they are all running. You see, there's somebody blocking the goalkeeper for them, so they are running. And if you look at that ball again, there was a Burnley player. All he was doing was to see whether he can use his back to block the path of the player. What sort of defending is that? What sort of defending is that?
No, but I think then you'd also need to give men to now block the people who are blocking the path. So if there's a guy on your keeper,
so what I'm saying is
you know what's good right now?
Those 4 guys, put men on them. Put men on them. So that they don't have the sort of easy run.
I think, you know, the irony of this conversation is that the one team that has defended Arsenal properly from dead balls is Liverpool. And apart from that game, Liverpool have not defended well from dead balls in any game this
in
season.
any other game again.
Which is very crazy because Van Dijk and Konate actually did a brilliant job from what you're saying on that type of thing. Marking, looking out for the runners into the box and that type of thing. It's always been, I don't know, man. I always think that corner kick situation, there's just too many things going on.
Even when they got the win against Man United, everybody look at that goal that Man United considered. You want to pin it to a goalkeeping error. Bayende needed to be strong. He needed to fist and not tap the ball with his power. Apart from that, go check. Arsenal had some other corner kicks in the game. They never won any. They never won because Man United, I quite remember very well, didn't allow the Gabriel, those guys to have the sort of free run that they will have into the box. When they do that, look, they are already accelerating before coming to you. You are there, not moving. They can even come and head you together with the ball, everything to the back of the net.
Lots of momentum.
Just to wrap up on the game that we're following earlier. Udinese have beaten Atlanta by 1-0. Ivan Juric is on a 5-game winless run in the league.
5-game winless.
4 draws and a defeat, to be fair. This is the fifth.
Where are they on the table? Just check that.
10th on the table. They're 10th on the table with only
too many
2
draws.
wins. Too many draws. They've already drawn 7 games.
5 games winless.
Already drawn 7 games this season.
And they played what, 10?
Yeah, they played 10 games.
That's criminal.
Only won 2 games so far. So, and
Who
like I
is their
said,
striker?
to contrast that with Gasperini, who is top of the table now. Scamacca, Gianluca Scamacca.
As for Gasperini,
he's proven himself as a top manager.
I think he's the best attacking Italian coach
There is
in
now.
recent time. Not even Inzaghi.
Oh no.
Gasperini
is definitely more.
Spalletti and Inzaghi have done quite well.
But Gasperini is more enterprising. And Gasperini
He's worked with players of a lower quality.
In fact, that is how you test the brilliance of a manager. Like a lot of players whom a lot of teams didn't think much of. I mean, come to Gasperini and their lives change all of a sudden.
Look, three players in the middle who have nothing to do because they're defending
just ball watching.
There's even a player on the line, but on the other,
I get what you guys mean. The funny thing about defending corners is that you see the way you are plotting out a strategy.
From set pieces.
Some teams literally put bodies in the box and think that by having bodies in the box, the ball will be defended.
No responsibility.
Exactly.
Everybody
needs to have a role. Everybody needs to do something specifically.
These are the sort of things why you train during the week in preparing for your opponent. And I'll be shocked if there's any team in this league going to play against
Yeah,
us.
so Arsenal have 10 goals from set pieces this season.
Yes.
We're showing a stats. Most goals from set
Yes.
pieces. Then next is Chelsea with 8.
10, yes.
8.
Yeah, Chelsea have 8
Oh,
from set
wow.
pieces. I mean,
You
most of about 3 of them were against West Ham
West
on
Ham.
the opening. So
You understand?
that counts down. But they've also been quite. I think, and it's a
Hmm.
general trend this season.
Look
As
at
much as Arsenal
Wolverhampton.
have improved.
Look at that. What?
Yeah, so that's the Fulham goal from Sessegnon. Sessegnon is a
No.
left back.
These
No, I
defenders
mean,
don't
I think
even
he's playing
qualify to
slightly
play
further.
in the
Yeah,
championship.
he's playing as a left winger these days.
Watch. Okay, this is the second goal. Look at it. What is that?
This is a red card for Akbar.
How do you trip someone like that when you're the last man?
Hippopotamus defending.
Look. Like,
That's so clumsy. Like
Did you
no
trap him?
Barry,
no attempt to go for the ball. Nothing. And then he's acting surprised. Nothing kills me more than that when players know that they have done and then they act like they don't know what's going on when they are getting sent off or getting penalized.
Like I'm saying, this like you made the observation last week. The set piece count is going up.
Oh,
this week.
Mateta.
The set piece count is
Mateta.
coming up.
Crystal Palace have also
Mateta
scored
has
from a
also
dead
scored
ball.
from a
Look at
dead
it.
ball.
Banyai.
Look at how he headed glanced the ball with the back of his Santo.
you have to say something. You
Yeah.
could have just said head.
Glanced the ball. No, it's a
You
back
are
of.
using ball headed to make good money. You and Gabby, you are here. We don't see what is happening.
Yesterday, that went to play football. He represented us.
And then there's Danny Welbeck again on the score sheet for Brighton
I
and
don't know
Hove
where the
Albion.
keeper was going. but-
Easy does it. Easy does
Where
it.
was he going?
Yeah, Danny Welbeck, they're red hot. 6 goals in his last 5 matches. Yeah, Arsenal doing a little bit of an Arsenal.
Arsenal gear.
Yeah, Charlie
That's a
merchandise.
quality outfit.
Anyway, let's look at that this thing again. That controversial situation there. Sean Dyche is fighting with the officials.
No, so he was appealing before the set piece, and then they
And then-
score after the set.
set
I
piece,
can see
yeah.
why he's frustrated.
No excuse. They should have defended it better. You don't allow such a free header. Look at Kachina. He eventually had the time to head the ball with power on the ground, bounce off the ground into the back of the
Yeah.
net. That was too. And Nottingham Forest, they are a very big team.
Very, which is surprising.
Very surprising.
I'm surprised they conceded such a goal.
No,
Typically, very
poor.
disciplined from inside the box, and I think that they've deviated from all the things that made them good under Nuno. I mean,
I think
their
they've taken a
defensive,
step back.
yeah, defensive
because-
record was brilliant.
Exactly, and you've touched on defensive record. Last season, Marcel's ended up sharing the Golden Glove Award with David Raya because they kept the most clean sheets. And this season, you look at Marcel, some of the goals that he's conceded, and you just ask yourself, was this the same keeper who last season won the Golden Glove Award? They've taken a step back, and you need your players to be on form to be able to get a good run in. If you are Nottingham Forest and you don't necessarily have the top level quality as the elite teams, you need your players to be in their best form. And last season, Elliot Anderson was in his best form.
Was Morgan Gibbs White.
Chris Wood,
Hey, Sangare.
he's on the bench.
Oh my goodness.
Sangare, he was on the bench last season, but Anthony Elanga, you saw him last season, what he was doing
Even
there.
Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Hudson-Odoi,
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood, Murillo
Yeah.
will get the ball
Ty-
at the back.
what's the-
run with
Ola
it-
Aina.
Ola Aina, run with it throughout, dribble his way, get to the final third, then lay off a pass, then a goal is scored. They were all brilliant. Milinkovic,
So good
Milinkovic
you could barely pick a best player out of that
Yes.
team.
Milinkovic was part of my team of the season. Olaina was pretty much the best right fullback last season. And now this season, it hasn't gone according to plan. It hasn't gone the same way. They've taken steps back, and it has affected them overall. And that's one of the reasons why they are really struggling this season.
Brilliant. Big shout outs to veteran journalist Ken Bediako, and big shout outs to Jojo Bediako as well.
Yeah,
They are doing the listening to the Republic of Football. We appreciate it. We appreciate the kind words as well. Jojo is asking me an interesting question. Anyway, I'll get to that.
Is it
in a
about
bit.
Liverpool?
But big shout outs to the Bediakos, Jojo and Ken, top brains there. Jojo's a mobile as well, just to put on record. And the Infanspim guys have been doing absolutely wonderful at the National Science and Maths Quiz. So shout outs to the
We
guys
need that rematch.
doing their thing.
That last year,
Yeah.
the final,
Yeah,
St. Augustine's College, my alma mater.
yeah.
We missed out on winning the title because of that. What the final
The riddle?
segment, the riddle.
Yeah.
That's what got us to miss out on that title. And you guys came storming from behind, yeah, and you ended up winning it. Yeah, it was painful. We need that rematch. So St. Augustine's College, boys, Charlie, step up your game and let's make it to the final again.
Nice. Let me take thoughts from Manuel on Brighton and Leeds. 1-0 at halftime. What you expected?
Yeah. I mean, I think Leeds. I think Leeds. Most of their good form this season, if I'm right, has been based on their home form. I think they've done really well at Elland Road, but I don't think they've been able to, match the form elsewhere. So looking at it right now, they've only had one away win this season, and that was against Wolves. So that's slightly to be expected, given how Wolves are playing right now. So far the game is as I expected. I'm really, like you said, Welbeck is doing all his best to make sure that he gets into that England squad, and we'll see how that goes for him.
You see, for teams like Leeds
Yeah.
United
Yeah.
or the newly promoted teams, they will not win too many games away from home.
Mm-hmm.
Factual.
Mm-hmm.
But what they really need to do is to win most games at home.
Yeah.
Once you do that, I think you have enough points on the board to get you to be saved for another season.
True.
Because as it stands now, teams like Wolverhampton, West Ham,
Yeah.
they are showing a clearer picture.
Mm-hmm. In fact, like we were saying earlier, all the teams in the relegation zone now are teams who are already in the league from last season.
That's right.
None of the newly promoted teams are in the relegation zone
Yes.
as we speak.
Exactly. So they've come to the league and they've not attempted anything to try and play to the quality of the league. You've got your strength.
Yeah.
Play to your strength. Don't force the building from the back. There's no need for that. If yours is route one long ball, go for it. Do it and be free.
Yeah.
You understand? So if they can try as much as possible to win more of their home games, you expect them to be safe.
So I think just looking at the home table, Sunderland have already won 3 games at home. Burnley and
Yeah.
Leeds United have won 2.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Sunderland have 2, but Burnley and Leeds only have 1. So clearly,
Interesting.
most of them are building on their.
You have
Yeah.
to.
In fact,
the
in
thing
fact, you
is
can
they
stay in the
have-
league purely by winning your home games.
And they have
Yes.
more intimidating stadiums. I don't know if that's fair to move the teams that are coming
is,
about.
it
Elland
is.
Road, how do you call it?
Elland Road is a very, in fact, I don't want to say certain
You get
things
me?
here.
And that's what I'm
Leeds
saying.
United
And
fans.
Sunderland.
Leeds United fans.
Sunderland, especially when I think they'll play Newcastle. They have their rivalry with Newcastle. So when that comes
Yeah.
around, you see how intense
Yeah.
it gets at
You see the real color,
at the Stadium of Light. But
of Leeds United fans when they play Man United. It's a
yeah,
completely,
same thing. Leeds and
completely
United too
crazy.
is-
Like I think
a-
their rivalry with Liverpool is great, but the rivalry with Leeds is very underrated. And
I mean, maybe
Probably rightly
they've
so
been they've knocked out. They went out
because they were
for
relegated
20
for a
years.
long time. Because that used to be one of the fiercest rivalries around. I remember it so much back in the day, Leeds United, Man United games. And then you're right about Sunderland, Newcastle games. Those can get very, very feisty as well. But I'm happy for the Sunderland project, really.
I mean,
and what's
West
going
Ham
on
are
there.
contradicting this slightly because they haven't won at home all season yet. Which is they've also had that problem since they moved from Upton Park to the London Stadium.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I think there's an athletic track around, and I don't know because in Italy,
No, it does.
In
it
Italy,
does.
they don't have a problem creating atmosphere.
I've been to that ground, and you're right. You are so far away from the pitch. It takes away. Look, it definitely
but they
takes
have
away
it
from the
in Italy.
experience.
That's the thing. I think I see it in Italy where they have athletic stadiums. Even
but
at
you see,
Munti.
no,
That's why
Italian
their
fans-
fun experience is
Italian
whack.
Italian fans.
That's why their fun experience at stadiums
But
is whack.
then Italian fans are more passionate than
yes.
your average football fan. That's the thing. Even though they have the tracks around their grounds, Italian fans are. That's where ultra culture starts from. Like these people are crazy.
They are needy.
They are lighting flares. Like you need to go and beg them. If you play a bad game, you go and lose 3-0. You have to go and beg the fans because you will leave the stadium. That's the truth. Look, I remember watching a documentary about Diego Maradona.
Yeah, the Napoli one, yeah.
There's, I think it was they used to call it the San Paulo at the time. When he first arrived in Naples, right? So they take him to the stadium, and the press conference room is kind of like the Baba Yara one, but it's underground. So the press room is under the stadium, some way, somehow. And then there's a little slit above where you can see the fans and you can hear them. So when he was having the presser, he could literally hear the fans like chanting and shouting above him. Like that is the kind of atmosphere you are in. And when you are coming out to the tunnel, you can already see the fans. You can hear them. The atmosphere is charged. Like there are flares everywhere. There's smoke everywhere. So it's just one of those things. You look.
Yeah, West Ham have struggled.
You either have it or you don't.
And
To be
West Ham
honest,
don't have it, to be fair.
To
And
be
they
honest,
struggled with us in the
who would we? What ground would we call the most active or the most feisty in the league?
In the English
Premier
Premier
League.
League.
Anfield?
It's Anfield at night.
Yeah.
To be fair, and I didn't want to be the one to say
It's
it, but it's
Anfield.
Anfield at night. There are times where St James's Park is quite close.
St James Park
St
is
James's
crazy.
Park can go.
Yeah, St
Yeah,
James
but
Park is crazy.
I'll still go with
Yeah.
Anfield.
Anfield, Liverpool fans know how to turn up. They know
They've
how.
equalized.
Yeah, they know how to
Forest
turn
have
up.
equalized.
Oh, Morgan Gibbs White has given Forest the equalizer. Wow, 47 minutes
Yeah, that was a very
straight
bad
out of
start.
half time.
That was a very bad.
It's 1-1. Let's see the sequence of this goal again.
I think Lenny Euro was not strong on the header. There's no way he's heading that.
Look at
If
this.
that was
Let's look at
delete.
this again.
That was delete. There's no way
the
he's
ginger Mourinho. Look at him on the touchline. So
a long
cross
ball
across.
Anderson did well.
properly defended. Ahmad.
This is
Maybe
not a
too
good goal to
stronger.
concede.
Ahmad.
Let me see.
Ahmad,
So
Ahmad,
ball
Ahmad,
comes
Ahmad.
in.
How much be trying to get across him and
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah.
trying to hold him off?
Ahmad.
Maybe he probably didn't think he'd get to the ball, but
No, no,
that's
no.
not up to you to decide. I think he should have still been trying to get across.
Good. Just try to make sense of that sequence for us.
Yeah, man.
Who is at fault here? What should they be doing better?
First and foremost, they were very slow in adjusting to the crossfield ball. You remember there was a long
Ball that
diagonal.
went to the-
there was
yeah.
a long diagonal, and they were very slow in adjusting quickly. If they were quick enough, then it simply meant that they would have adjusted themselves in order to stop the cross from coming in, but they were not strong enough, or the manner in which they adjusted to
Yeah,
was
not
very slow.
Slow. Yeah.
Very, very slow.
Well, it looks like the goal has woken Nottingham Forest up because they are back in the mix again, and this could be goal number 2. Nottingham Forest have scored again. This is crazy.
Unacceptable.
It's 2 goals in 3 minutes.
Man United, once you
Ah,
rattle, they can be
man.
rattled. Once
This-
they concede,
You know what's funny? I kind of saw it coming. Gibbs White was controlling and dancing in front of the box. Ball went across, came back. Are they reviewing this?
No, I'm not. I don't think so.
Crystal Palace have scored again, also in their game. Let me just check out the goal scorer
Knockdown might be offside. but I
in
think
that
might be
one for you, real quick.
He's
Nathan
on. He's on.
Nathan Collins with an own
Dalo
goal
completely went to sleep.
in that one.
Dalo.
Completely went to sleep.
So yes, who's the goal scorer for that one?
Savona.
Oh, but
Savono has scored. He
After
went.
giving away the penalty. I'm
Yep.
sorry, giving away the corner that led
Yeah.
to the goal. I think he's made
So
up
the
for it.
cross deflected, fell into the.
Diego Dalo was just standing there,
yeah,
ball watching.
he was
man.
sleeping.
And by the time he reacted, yeah, too late.
He was even afraid not to cause the penalty.
Yep, I was about to say that.
It's because he was flat-footed
and
he
the
was
ball
sleeping.
dropped in front of him suddenly. That is
You don't want that.
2 goals
How do
in
you
the
switch
space
off
of
like
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
So Man United, from leading at half time,
How do you
are
switch
already
off like
down by 2 goals to 1.
How do you
5
switch
minutes
off like
into the second half. Wow, Ruben Amorim is not a happy guy.
Yeah.
I think he's telling his players to wake
What
up.
was that?
Yeah, he's telling his players to wake up. Sean Dyche probably can't believe what he's seeing because he didn't think that he would be 2-1 up this early. United have kicked off again, probably in search of an early response to this. But coach, quick thoughts. I mean, if you go down by 2 quick goals and look at United again in 6s and 7s, looks like Nottingham Forest have found a certain spark and are intent on exploiting it. So United are really up against it since the second half started. I don't think they've made any forays even up front. So there you have it there again, being pressed into their own half. Coach, just snap thoughts on what we are watching.
I think they just went to sleep. These are the sort of things that the manager have always been talking about. You don't do things like this if you are hoping to qualify for Europe. You don't make life difficult for yourself. They've made life extremely, but all they need to do is to calm down. There is enough time, to be able to fix this.
Well, I mean, just on the Forest perspective, I think this will be their first win since August. They haven't won since August, and this will be their second league win. I'm hoping that they can hold on to it. They look good against Porto in the Europa League. I think they won with 2 penalties, so it made the impact of the scoreline not look as much. But I think they've actually been positive since they came on the Shondage. Against Bournemouth, they haven't actually beaten Bournemouth, and both of them have been in the Premier League. And given where they are,
talking about Forest?
Yeah, Forest. Since they've been in the Premier League, I don't think they beat Bournemouth. So I wasn't expecting much last season, especially given where Iraola is in terms of development.
Yeah,
he's had more time on the training ground this week. There wasn't any midweek Europa League game, and I think you can tell it in the impact that I think disappointing first half, but I can tell in the impact that in the way they are playing, at least in the second half, they seem a little more organized. But I think United, if they are,
that was a really dangerous cross. I like Ahmad's crossing from the right hand side. I like where he puts the ball. It's that kind of place where if you are not careful enough, you kick it into your own goal, and it's an own goal. I like that the zip on that cross.
I mean, to be fair, I think that's what on y'all's points, playing the inverted fullback.
Yeah.
Playing the inverted wing back instead of, because if he cuts in, he has less. He can't shoot from where he is more often.
Yeah.
So he's more likely to put in a cross than to either go on his weak foot or So I think United need to. They look a little shaken up. They need to reset and then come back into the game.
Coach, what changes would you make to this game? I mean, if you could bring United, a player off the bench, yes, exactly.
No, I mean, he needs to allow this to go on for some time now. At least let's go up
60,
to like
65.
60, 70 if it's still 2-1. Then you want to see whether you can refresh him. Maybe you want to put on a Dogu for Dalo.
Yeah.
And then sort of this is the time that you want to have players who would normally not have enough playing time, like Zegzi. You want to bring it on for maybe Shesko, and then see whether he can respond to the opportunity of being the main man.
Well, so far, game looking to settle. United looking to get back in. Look at the possession statistics. Forest. Okay, so that's win probability now. Forest have a win probability now of 64%. I think that has just turned because of the recent tide of the game. We just rightly put, United trying to get themselves back into this mix. If you go to the Arsenal game, it's still 2-0 advantage Arsenal. Brandon Belmo. Wow, Brandon Belmo is so dangerous. Look at this guy. Oh, but what a signing he's been for Man United so far this season. Let me just run you through the scores again, and then we'll highlight a few things as we go along. So Brighton still leads United by a goal to nil. Burnley losing 2-0 to Arsenal. Palace also leading Brentford by 2-0. Now Fulham leading by a goal to nil. Wolves have had a player sent off in that game. Nottingham Forest came back from the second half and bang, they are up 2-1 against Man United. We'll preview Spurs versus Chelsea a little in depth before we go off the show. That game is at 5:30. We'll be getting into it in a bit there, but so far so good, at least depending on what side you are on. We'll take a quick break here on the Republic of Football. When we come back, we'll discuss a couple more things that are happening with regards to the 3 p.m. batch of matches, and then we'll preview Spurs, Chelsea, get into a few of the other leagues before we wrap it up here. Stay with us here. TV. On YouTube, we are on City Sports GH. Also live on X or Twitter at City973. I am Benjamin Nketia, Manuel Kwache, Yao Jemita, and Coach Christopher Nimley in the studio with me. Big shout outs to all of you who have been doing this with us from 2 p.m. Shout outs to Joshua Holotu. He says the United defense just went to sleep. Fishmonger says there is a lot of time to go. Mbemo hasn't even scored yet. So we appreciate all of you guys out there. Keep the messages coming. Let me read some messages from my text and message box, and then we'll talk more football here on the show. Richie Royce from Pong says, good evening, team. On the discussion about Company, he was very good at Burnley in the Premier League, but he was very good at Burnley in the Premier League, but the players he had were not good enough. However, he dominated games but still lost them. You could see the system and everything showed he would be better when he gets better players.
So he had a really bad keeper too, who didn't help him in certain moments.
In fact, his keeper was literally playing against his team in the last 5 matches of the league.
He was the one who kept on insisting on picking him because he could play out from the back.
Fact. That was his decision. So fact. Raymond Decoder texted from Harbour City says, good afternoon, Ben. Spurs 3, Chelsea 1. Moses Kofinoy says Chelsea 1 match, 1 red card. Liverpool 1 match, 1 defeat. Man City 1 match, 1 defeat. Arsenal 1 match, 1 win. This guy's an Arsenal fan. Priest from McCarthy Hill says,
I thought you were going for 1 match, 1 set.
I'm even shocked he didn't. He missed it. Priest from McCarthy Hill says 2 rules to consider: play a low block, we score from corner. Open up and play, we score from open play. The choice is yours. Charlie, Arsenal fans are flexing right now. Amos from Ashaiman says, Ben, I really sense an upset in the Burnley Arsenal game. I look like anything you were sensing is completely over the bar, because that game doesn't look like there's any upset going to happen unless Burnley can find a miracle.
That's a very valid point raised by him. I think if you've gone into these games where it's like open and 50-50 and you don't know when it's end to end and you don't know whether you score, if you can literally lock the game up and assure yourself that every time you get a set piece, you are at least going to either test the keeper and you're more likely than not in a game going to score. I mean, it's a good basis for a 1-goal project.
Oh no, that's for me. I like the Arteta method. The only thing is that he needs to be able to get over the line when the going gets tough and he needs to find a goal from somewhere. Those are the times when sometimes he's been frustrating to watch, but so far I like it. Anyway, Ayuba Halilu from Kaswa, he says, but now in Pokwase, very soon I will be in Spintex. What's going on, gentlemen? He says that, good afternoon, guys. Chelsea should win against Spurs tonight so it can boost our confidence for the midweek, where we will be thrashing Karabakh by 5-1. Prekese Kwame, aristocrat from Kaswa Old Barrier. Wow. Says United 2, Forest 1. I'm sorry, boss, but your prediction has already been thrown out the window.
That's right.
Because Forest are the ones leading by 2-1. Israel from Afienia says that, good afternoon, guys. My team United will win tonight by the grace of God. God doesn't play football. Felix Tete from Kede says United will win 2-1. Again, your prediction also already out the window. Says Liverpool will draw. Man City will win. God bless you guys. God bless you too. Let's get back to the live scores. You can join us via YouTube at City Sports GH. Also via text and WhatsApp on 0549 986 996. That's the text and WhatsApp lines. I don't think anything has changed so far in any of the matches. Let's go to a few of the other leagues and see what's happening there before we come back and chop up a few things. Atletico Madrid are up against Sevilla, which is a big game in the La Liga. It's 48 minutes played. It's still goalless in that game. Earlier, Villarreal beat Vallecano by 4-0. Thomas Partey featuring heavily in that game. There's Real Sociedad versus Athletic Club at the Anoeta, little later at 5:30. And then you have Real Madrid playing against Valencia at the Bernabeu. That game is at 8 p.m. When you go to the German Bundesliga, all their games are in time added on, at least the ones that are happening now. Heidenheim and Eintracht Frankfurt 1-1 is how it stands. Mainz versus Werder Bremen, it's 1-1 as well in that game. RB Leipzig are currently beating Stuttgart by 3-1, and then St. Pauli losing at home by 4-0 to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Union Berlin are up against Freiburg. It's goalless, and then you have Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen to come a little later. That game is at 5:30 p.m. When you go to Italy, have a game that has just ended. Udinese beating Atalanta 1-0. Nicolo Zaniolo with the only goal of the game. In the next 35 minutes, Napoli will kick off against Como. Should be a good game. And then there's Cremonese versus Juventus Football Club. Juventus fired their manager, I believe, a couple of days ago. They are in turmoil financially, tactically.
I mean, they've never recovered from all the money they spent on Ronaldo, even though it seems like they...
That's what I'm thinking about that.
Oh no,
factually, thoughts on that for me.
Factually, they've like since the... I mean, like I said, they won, I think, 9 titles about 8-9 titles in a row. The last one under Sarri.
Yeah.
It's when they got Pirlo in, and at the end of that era, and since then they haven't been able to win a league title. It's been slightly disappointing. I thought when Allegri came back, he would be able to take them back to that top, but it looks like the top of Italian football has moved a bit. But just on that, Como are doing quite well. They're in 5th right now. I think the top 4 teams are teams that will compete for the league. Inter are doing really well with Christian Kivu, and they're in 3rd. But how do you call it? Milan too are doing quite well under Allegri. But I've been impressed with Como so far. Under Fabregas, they are different, if that makes sense. Yeah, and it's nice. I know they have the 7 Sisters in Italy, but it's nice once in a while to see some new teams coming up. And they've been back quite well. They have Rachel Unes. They've invested in a project.
Luke Shaw is not serious at all. Luke Shaw. You see, that is why you knew that.
Almost scored.
If you give them the lead, you remember yesterday I said something. To beat them, you need to score first. You score first, then you threw the game away. But now they've all gone back. And what are they doing? Sitting very deep and playing on the counter.
Yeah. Exactly how they want to play.
That is how they wanted to play.
Yep.
From the very word go.
Well, Patrick Dogu has come on for Diego Dallo. Patrick Dogu has had a lot of United fans on his back in recent games for
I think his performances has been inconsistent.
It looks neat. I like this hairstyle. That one that he has. No, I didn't.
Okay. No. I'm like, I like the hairstyle too.
This one is very neat.
Right.
I take back what I said.
Rasta man throw one stone. Oh man, Patrick Dogu. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Charlie, you are doing the thing for me. Soon to be Black Stars left winger.
9 games, 1 goal, 0 assist all season.
Callum?
I'm just saying. Crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. I see why the clamor for him to get in the squad.
No, don't do that. He's not. Is he like they always say? He's not been playing. He's not been playing regular minutes. I think this is his first start of the season.
I think he started. I don't think this is his first start.
But he's not
started too many.
Yeah, he hasn't started too many games this season. So.
They've had 3 managers. It's been hard for them to know whether to start. Like for them to pick up the.
But he will need to work really, really hard because Ghana is really fortified in that position.
Those areas. Yep.
That wing forward position, we are really fortified.
Yeah.
Because think about when was the last time you heard anyone talk about Osman Bukari?
Charlie. And Osman Bukari is a big game player. Like you understand, like he doesn't matter to him the opposition. Yes, he can score
because we have so many options. We have so many choices. So unless you are doing something extraordinary, you are not going to even be mentioned for it to even be considered. And so in his case, he didn't participate in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
So you are more or less a newbie coming into a hot pressure situation. That is the World Cup, or high pressure situation, which is the World Cup. So you need to do very, very well, way and above what your contemporaries have done and are doing, for you to be able to come in with a legitimate case that, okay, you are better than these guys, and so we can't consider you, or we have to consider you for selection. So he needs to really step up, because that position that he's in, it's not let's say a just a champion situation where if he maintains the way he's performed so far, he could, and he decides that, I want to play for Ghana instead of England. Oh yeah, there's straightforward a big chance for him to be able to make this Black Star squad. But Hudson-Odoi,
but also at a different age where I think Joshua Champong would consider his option, and Hudson-Odoi, this probably is his last. This is his best chance to go to a World Cup.
In fact, Champong's prospects are brighter now because England don't have a lot of good centre backs.
To be fair, like Hudson-Odoi's prospects were, I made that point the last time. His prospects were quite bright when he was young. He
didn't live up to it. That's the thing. He didn't live up. In fact, I remember the time. I remember the Donkomi days where we did some Donkomi episode here where Bayern were hot on his tail, wanted to pay 40 million for him. He was intent on leaving. He ended up signing a renewal and then went on loan to Bayer Leverkusen. Ruptured his cruciate ligament, ended up on the bench the whole season. He's had quite a tumultuous career for such a young guy. But hey, is that Nottingham Forest trying to score a third goal? Wow, look at them. Goals do a lot for your confidence, you know. They were not looking like a team that could even carve United open in the opening 45 minutes. All of a sudden, they are opening United up and are getting lots of attempts.
And Man United's old bad habits are popping up all over the place. Players just standing pat and watching things happen right before them.
I think it's not the time to
make a change.
Yeah.
Who would you bring on? How do you tweak the?
I'll bring on Mason Mount.
They'll need to refreshing.
Yeah, you need energy.
Something in the midfield. They need to refreshing something in the midfield.
Giving the ball away too many times now, they can't seem to build any momentum going forward.
They need to refreshing. I think Casemiro looks tired now.
Yeah, 72
Instead
minutes.
of him being focused on trying to build it, be part of the builder, he's
going forward
on the move. I don't know what that.
I've been watching quite well, but why hasn't he tried a 3-5-2? So he played with 2 forwards up front, but then still have a 10. Just invert it a bit and then play. I know it's not systematic problems.
This system
allows you to do that when you're on the move. You can. That's the thing about systems. You can be 3. It can just keep inverting and changing shape as it's on the move. It's not.
No, man, but my main point about that is it would move. That means it's Bruno's positional because it seems like Casemiro seems to take that liberty, and because it's transition, he's moving forward more.
Yeah.
But then it means that they can't both move at the same time, and it would free one of them up to play another midfielder, and obviously it means he has to drop one of the 10s, which is what he's avoiding. But
there's that.
It's just obviously I get that positionally it can change, but in terms of personnel wise, it would.
You probably need some more appropriate. Yeah.
Burnley have been playing quite well against Arsenal.
Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. They consider their 2 goals. It is
going exactly according to the game plan.
Yep.
Score your 2 goals and just relax.
Let them have a puff.
Yep. At the end of the day, you have a Champions League game to play midweek. So you don't let them score. You just sit back. Give them the chance to play and try to create some 1 or 2 openings, decent chances. That's all, and keep them out.
Let me give you another update. Brighton have scored again. They are 3-0 up now against Leeds United, and it's Gomez with the goal this time. Ruta with the assist in that one. So it's 3-0 at the Amex. We spoke about Brighton and Hove Albion being able to keep a clean sheet. Looks like they had us. They are hell-bent on keeping a clean sheet in this game. It's just about what? A couple more minutes to play. 28 minutes to play. So quite some time. Lots of space for United to operate. Look at how deep Forest are sitting now. Now that they have the lead, it's about to be an interesting next couple of minutes. United look like they are ready to throw everything at it. So
Dogu is not serious. Because
he's crossing.
you should be smart enough.
He just said that just killed me.
Who are you playing the ball to?
He said Dogu is not serious.
Let's hold on to it a bit more.
Yeah. So it's 3-0. Burnley down 2-0. Palace still lead 2-0. Fulham have scored a second in their game against Wolves. Yep, they've scored a second. Goal scored by Harry Wilson in there. So 2-0. Yeah. Looks like Fulham will be cruising to 3 points unless something very catastrophic happens in that game. In the French League, Paris Saint-Germain are up against OGC Nice. It's 34 minutes played in that game, and it's goalless. PSG themselves have not been in the best of forms lately. but especially in the French league. But they are drawing this game altogether, so it's goalless in that one. Let's see how it plays out. But
just on Arsenal too, I think you have to go back all the way to September the 28th against Newcastle for the last time they conceded a goal in any competition.
The last time when was
they conceded a goal in any competition? September 28th, 2-1 against Newcastle.
You don't
since
mean
then
it.
they had a 2-0 win against Olympiacos, 2-0 against West Ham.
Wait, they went the whole of October without
Whole of
conceding a
October
goal.
in the Premier in all competitions.
Wow.
And I know they only had one shot on target across their 3 Premier League games, and even that was so defensively. I think
Arteta should be a proud manager, you know.
Yeah.
Very proud manager. A lot of people.
If you look at the number of goals even just Liverpool have conceded in that period of time, I think it should you can have an idea that there's some good work that's been done into.
You know what's funny?
solidity.
When Arteta wants to rest his first team
They haven't considered a shot on target in this game. Well, so that would be 4 games in a row that they've gone without.
Crazy.
With
That-
only one shot
So
on
they-
target between them.
You were right. Raya can definitely work from home, and nothing will change in their game. Mikel Arteta are doing big things. When he changes his starting centre backs, he brings Mosquera and Piero Hincapié. That's just crazy. I don't even know.
Yes, Ben White too.
Charlie. Man, that is such a stacked team. Anyway, Felix Tomili says, "My boss, I'm going crazy. United want to kill me. All my 5 games, Man United win. Hey, a Cabefie. Oh man, United man. United want to spoil boys. Boys have plotted things for the evening. Everything was supposed to be going according to plan based on the United form guide. Unfortunately, it's not happening.
They are not here to win the league. They are managing to see whether they can get top 4.
Yeah.
So when you start calling them league contenders, they look at the defending Dalo sleeping.
And to be honest, this has been a difficult ground for United
Yes,
to come
in
to in
recent
recent times. Very, very difficult place for United to play. BB Inside Dodoa says that, "Good day, guys. Have you realized Nimli's voice had changed immediately after the equalizer in the second goal?" Tell him his team hasn't picked anything yet. But he's saying that right now.
I said it.
I mean, and it's only right that he will be there. I mean, when Liverpool, did you see me when Crystal Palace and some team gave Liverpool the down the last minute? I think it was last week or last. Charlie. I didn't know what to do myself. It was,
Can look short.
see, the Nketiah was painful. The Chelsea one was even more painful because Liverpool thought they had come back into the game and could go and find a winner. And all of a sudden, it was just a dagger at the end. So
I mean, and just on Arsenal, if you look at the changes they just made, Eze for Nwaneri, Califieri for Hinkasi, and Handikole, and then they made Zubimendi for Norgard. I think that's a difference in the type of signings they made compared to Liverpool. Liverpool made signings that were supposed to make the first team better.
Yep.
And Arsenal made signings around their squad. I think using the thing.
Arsenal knew that they needed more depth.
The periphery. And I think that's what's going to help them a lot this season. Because they have so many quality players who are not even getting into the team. But it's a bit like the Guardiola thing where these players are not complaining and saying that, why am I not playing? Why am I not a starter? There's no such thing as a starter. You have different teams to meet for different opponents.
Yeah.
And you can just play them in different formations as well. And I think I just think it's credit to how Arteta has become tactically. And he's how much he's developed since he came into the job.
I like him. He's just annoying with how rigid he can be based on the level of offensive talent at his disposal. But as a manager, when you talk about young, promising managers, he's definitely right in the mix. He just needs a major trophy to cement. I mean, he's done the FA Cup, but he needs a proper trophy to cement.
FA Cup doesn't count.
No, the FA Cup is a major trophy. Oh, if you are in England, the FA Cup and the Premier League are the major trophy. It's the Carabao Cup that when you win, nobody cares about. To be honest,
I think Emi started the FA Cup run.
Oh, either way.
Emi started the FA. I could be wrong though. I think
Arteta won it. Yeah. His first
season. It was his first season.
Yeah. In charge. Yeah, he won it. Then he later won the Community Shield. Yeah. So he's won some major titles.
Fulham have scored again. In their game, looks like another own goal. Yes, it looks like an own goal. So it's 3-0 advantage Fulham. Charlie, Wolves are going to get relegated. This is so bad.
Yeah,
Look, the confidence will completely be in the pits after this game. That's 3-0, 4-0, 3-1. Ah, man. Wolverhampton Wanderers. So not looking good at all for them. Let's get into that Chelsea Spurs game real quick and let's see the starting lineups for that one. Who is playing and who isn't. We'll wrap up the other matches happening.
Liam Delap is definitely not playing.
Yep,
I mean, after
yep.
getting that red
He
card.
was Charlie.
Of course, he's
I
suspended.
don't even know.
That's-
Such a stupid. No, it
Exactly.
was a very
It's a
stupid.
stupid
It was a
red
very stupid red card. Very.
You come off the bench. You've
Oh.
been out due to injury
Very
for
stupid
a
red
month. You come off the bench and within 20, 15 minutes you get yourself
Yeah.
booked on 2 occasions.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Needlessly though. It's not like one of those challenges that you need to make to save your team.
Oh, United have scored! What a goal!
Ahmad.
What a finish
Ahmad.
from the edge of the box! What
Ahmad.
a finish!
Ahmad.
What a finish! That's a lovely
Ahmad.
goal. Ball headed out. Ahmad was right
Ahmad.
there
That's a
with the
beautiful
rebound.
goal.
Fantastic finish.
All
This
he
guy-
needed to
his-
do was to
his-
put it
he
back
ha-
into the
He
crowd.
has such a cultured left
Yeah,
foot. It's
man.
crazy. Yeah, I need to see that again. Forrest struggled to
couple
clear the
nice.
ball. Yeah, they were struggling to clear the ball. It fell right into it. Look at him, just hanging out at the edge of the arc.
Hey Dogu. Did you see the umpire?
Ah!
Did you see the umpire Dogu delivery? Hey.
And it non-drop. What a goal! What a finish!
Yeah. It reminds me of Zubimendi's goal he scored earlier this season for
Yeah.
Arsenal. Yeah.
The goal of the month.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's a
Brilliant.
brilliant goal actually. So Amad Diallo giving Man United the equalizer. It's 2-2 at the City ground. It's about 8 minutes to play in regulation time. Probably about 4-5 minutes in time added on in this particular one. So we'll see how it goes. The games are just about wrapping up the 3 p.m. batch of matches. Amad Diallo enjoying life as a right wing back. He's been up the field the whole game. Actually, he's almost looked like a second winger or a shadow striker of some sort in this
I mean,
game.
I think
Popping up in
the
dangerous
more
areas.
possession they have, the more he can just play as a winger, more as a winger than have to do more
Yeah.
defensively. So I think it
Arsenal on the
depends on
move. Arsenal on the move. What
This
is
is
that?
such a selfish play. Who is that?
I think that was Ranieri
Come on, man.
trying to get his way back into the team.
Don't get your way back with an assist. There was a clear path for him to have laid that ball off. Oh man.
I mean, he did the skill, so I think he's just trying to go for a nice solo goal. But yeah, if he had just
Let's
given
just
that
pass the
pass-
ball.
Just put it through.
Yeah. Just going back to Chelsea on discipline, I think they have 3 red cards this season. Every other team has at least one.
Straight red cards.
Straight red cards. Sorry, straight red cards. They have. Yeah, and they have at least one in the Champions League and one in the EFL Cup from the lab. So their disciplines and Club World Cup too. They got a red card with Jackson. So
And isn't
I
it
don't-
funny? Nicholas Jackson wasn't performing as he should, and he was getting himself sent off. And that's what drove Maresca crazy, and it led to him getting sent out on loan. Liam Delap comes in. He hasn't done much in terms of performance, and he's now getting himself sent off. So it's more or less like they're back to square one.
he plays what he thought. The problem he thought he was replacing. Now he has
it's
in
more or less
a
they are back to
in
square
a lesser.
one.
Who is more
Did you see
accomplished
the
out of?
umpire? Did you see the umpire?
Patrick Dove.
It was good he didn't even touch it.
I'm telling you, because it
swung his
yeah.
leg, he was kicking it way off the bar, over the bar. Dogu.
The way you call him Dogu kills me, man.
This
Like,
is
Who
the
is it,
Ghana
Dogu
version.
and
Dogu.
That's an odd way.
man.
No, he was not doing it.
Man. Anyway, let me go through the lineups for Chelsea. So Robert Sanchez is in post for Chelsea in this game. Malo Gusto, Wesley Fofana, and Trevor Chalobah at the centre back pairing. Mark Cucurella will be at left back. In the middle of the park, they have James and Caicedo, and then Neto, Enzo Fernandez, Garnacho, and Joao Pedro. So that's how Chelsea line up in this game. Let me go through that again. So Sanchez as the goalkeeper, Gusto and Cucurella are the fullbacks, Chalobah and Fofana are the centre backs. They have Caicedo and James, Garnacho, Fernandez, Pedro Neto, and Joao Pedro. When you go to Spurs, Vicario is in post. They have Jet Spence, Van de Ven, Kevin Danso, and
Odoi.
Pedro
Looks
Porro.
like an injury for Hudson.
Oh
I
my
don't know if
goodness.
I think maybe it's just a clash.
A knock?
But yeah, I think it could be just a slight knock. But he looked like he was struggling to.
United are
Well,
trying hard to give the game away.
They have Pap Matasa and Joao Paulinia, Kudus Mohamed, Rodrigo Bentancur, and Lucas Bergval. And then they have Randall Kolumwani leading the line. Meanwhile, it's 5 minutes of regulation time in that United Forest game. Still a lot to play for. Will there be a winner? Let me take thoughts on you from that Chelsea lineup, Chelsea Spurs lineup. What do you like about Chelsea? What don't you like? How do they get Joao Pedro firing again? He is drawing blanks. Can't even get a shot on target.
I think the problem for him might be, like I said, I think there's been too much up and changing around him. I think 1 week he's with Garnacho, the next week he's with Gittings, and then another week they're trying to bring Tyree George into the team. And I'm not sure if, at least for a striker who's moving into a new team, at least in the Club World Cup, I think there was some consistency because I think Palmer was in a good moment now. They had some consistency in their lineup, and I think that's affecting him slightly. People are pointing out that he wasn't as prolific when he was at Brighton. Which I mean, he is streaky, but I don't think that takes away from you being able to. He's not shooting as much. I think he had only 3 shots on targets across that period as well. So he's not been in the position to, how do you call it? He's not been in the position to at least even be missing chances. At least the same thing you criticize people like Darwin Núñez or Jackson for when they're not in the best of form. Just on the Spurs perspective, I think we've started to notice that pattern with Thomas Frank in terms of his midfield at least. Yeah. The bigger the game, the more reserved the midfield goes, and then it goes to Palhinha, Bentancur, and Sarr. Which is, again, if Maddison was fit, we'd see how different he would.
Hey, that guy's still around.
But he's out for the season.
He could. There's a chance he can be back and still get into the World Cup.
Considering his injury record, no, he's out for the season.
What kind of injury is this?
I think it was a league.
What? Achilles or
ACL.
That guy's also always injured.
ACL.
What kind of human being is this?
Looking at his injury record, ACL.
Such a talented player. Every time he's injured. Oh man, so disappointing.
Really, I mean, I hope not. I hope there's a way. Because again, he's also one of those players where this would be your last World Cup. This is your last proper chance.
Honestly,
to get to. And he's missed out on tournaments.
He's not making it to the national team for the World Cup.
Midfield wise, he's a good option.
Even the Euros, he didn't make it.
Did he make a Euros?
He didn't make the Euros.
He didn't make the squad.
That's my point. He hasn't made a major tournament. He's meant
he had been just fit before the tournament, and so he was like the wild card that.
And his manager doesn't like creativity too. So
he was the wild card that Gareth
Southgate doesn't like creativity. So you go.
Gareth Southgate could have picked.
Yeah.
But he decided to pass on him.
Pass on him and Grealish, if I'm right.
Yeah,
Grealish didn't get a call. But
I really like Maddison as a player. I'm very. It hurts me to see how his career trajectory has gone because he has all the tools to be like
he's been a top player.
All the tools to be like a really top player, but never
falling into that category.
He's also injured now.
Kulusevski is also injured, and he's going to be out for a long time.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, but just on his midfield, he's not playing Xavi Simons, which means he likes to go for.
Xavi Simons has been coming from the bench almost all season.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. We had that at the start of the season. He was switching up the midfield. I think that was when he was switching Archie Gray and Bergvall as opposed to Sarr and Palhinha. I think when Palhinha got up to match fitness, he put him straight in, and now it's him and Sarr. And I just feel like we've had this conversation before. There's just not enough creativity from that midfield.
Yeah.
Compound the fact that now he's playing Bergvall. Bergvall is silky, but then that means it's Kudus who has to now create for Kolo Muani. And they also.
I like it because when you're coming up against Caicedo and Reece James in midfield, you are going to play Xavi Simons. No, that's a no. That's a bad idea. So I like the fact that he dropped Xavi Simons for this game. I like it. I really like it. He's shown that yes, he's really prepared for this team in terms of the tactics, in terms of the physicality, and we've seen Xavi Simons in the Premier League how he's largely struggled to deal with the physicality. So, in this London derby, you're coming up against these stats. I think that's a good call.
Well, United were living dangerously a couple of seconds ago. Looked like they were going to concede a winner to Forest.
That's an overball.
Yeah, I thought that was a goal kick instead. I thought that went off a Forest player. I'm shocked why they are given.
Sometimes
it's quite close.
It's
very difficult.
Hopefully they score from this and level the.
Go and score for them.
Let me see how much time added on gets added onto this particular game. I don't know. It's strange. It's almost a couple of seconds to go. We still don't have to. Wow, that's good control. Let's see. Time added on how
In
many
the middle.
minutes?
He should be back in the middle.
Why don't we know how much time added on?
Well, I'm pretty sure once the sequence is done, they'll communicate.
No, they should have shown it on the indicator at least by now.
Yeah, it's coming up.
5 minutes. I thought as much. Game hasn't had too many
On
stoppages.
Chelsea, I'm surprised he went with Garnacho. I think his other wingers are in better form. I think Gittins has been in slightly better. At least he looks more integrated.
They've all
into the
scored
team.
one goal.
I think Esteval has at least been very good.
He's the
I
one.
think he deserves to
yeah.
at least be south. I think his problem is again the Palmer thing where it looks like he looks more effective centrally. But if you just shift a few positions around, I think he's been in better form than Garnacho. Maybe Garnacho probably has the touchline a little better than Esteval will. But
I've been really impressed with Esteban. He's very he puts himself about really well when he gets in the game. Occupies defenders. He's in your ear, he's right under your arm. I like him. I think he should be getting more playing time as well. But one of the things that has papered over Joao Pedro's blanks up front is the fact that Chelsea have been getting goals from all over the pitch. They're attacking midfielders, everybody's scoring. Pedro, Neto, Enzo Fernandez.
Tyreek George is getting in on there.
Everybody's getting in.
Even Tyreek.
He's not expected to start.
He's
not even expected to score.
I don't think he's good.
Yeah, he's not
No,
even
but
expected to score.
why didn't they sell him to Fulham then? I think there was a reason why they kept him. They had a good chance on. I think
we know that
deadline day
it goes beyond football when it comes to keeping English players.
Yeah, sometimes the quota.
Yeah, quota
is
system
a
and
quota.
all
Is a, he helps you fill your quota. I think they were almost bent on selling him, but something must have happened because
they brought in Buonanotte at the last minute.
They needed to balance out their books
Yeah.
because they were trying to do a lot of financial massage, and I'm not sure why they eventually kept him. Sean Dyche is going for the Sean Dyche Holy Grail long
Now
ball
he brought
up
in
top.
your man, Sangari.
Yeah, I think he's going to play a lot of long ball.
What he's realized that his team has been losing a lot of games.
Yeah.
It's better to get
Let
a point.
me
than-
take this draw.
Yeah,
And it's a
so-
draw against United. I'll take
Yeah, a
it.
team
United
on
are
form.
in form. I'm not in form. We
need as
we
many
need to
points
come
as we
back.
can.
Yeah, to get in this one. So I'm sure he'll take 2-2 in this one, but he needs to guard against the elite winner.
I think a draw is good for both teams, especially
Draw is
the
not
way.
good for both teams. What is that?
But you are not title contender.
No, not title contenders, and you are safely
Who the win
qualified for the
Koyede?
Champions League.
You call it who the win Koyede?
Yeah.
Who your title contender? Who the 3 points
No, but what do you
Koyede?
mean a draw is good for both teams?
Champions
No,
League.
you want to
based
qualify
on
for the Champions League. What do you mean a draw is good?
Based on the
A
way
draw
the
is
game
not
has
good for
gone.
both teams.
United came into the second half on the back of they considered 2 quick
They
goals. So to
considered
come
2
back
very poor goals.
That's what I'm saying.
They
So to come back
created
into the game and at
that
least get
level
a
of
point out
difficulty
of
for
it is a
themselves.
positive for them at least.
They created a level of
Well,
difficulty for
we
themselves.
got 2 more minutes to go in this game. A lot can happen. A lot can change.
Your man is
Chale
is
animated. He say, "Go, come on, go back and defend." Yeah. Oh wow! United are getting. Wow, that looked like it was cleared off the line.
Yeah,
Cleared
it
off the
was.
line.
What?
That was crazy from was it
Nico
Nico Williams?
Williams.
Yeah.
What?
Murillo.
Murillo.
Man United must have thought they had scored.
Let me see that again.
Wow!
Nice
Wow!
Got the
Wow!
ball back in play. Oh, Murillo.
Yeah.
Murillo going the way.
Yeah,
before-
Amad Diallo again.
Yeah.
And Murillo last season also made a very timely clearance. Was it-
Yamoussoukro Messi.
Yeah.
Charlie, this
Was
guy.
it Murillo or Meleko? One of those two guys made a very timely clearance last season.
Charlie,
And
Amad
still
Diallo.
My
have-
point is
I
if
like
he's having
Amad
this
Diallo.
impact,
I like
I
Amad
might.
Diallo.
I've made the
Yeah.
point. But I feel like his impact could be moved further forward so that he can be more.
Yeah,
Well,
but I like him. I like Ahmad.
Yeah, coach, what coach said,
Extremely
Murillo
dangerous.
just demonstrated it. They are playing for the draw
Yeah, you
because
guys-
Murillo was calling for the time. Like, look,
like slow the game down.
let's hurry up.
Uh-huh.
What's the time? What's the time? Because they want to get at least a draw.
1 point out of it. Something to hold on to.
Yes, something other than a loss.
Yeah.
It's a positive. So
Yeah.
yeah, you just have to be realistic about it and just go up.
Sangari, this is why they brought you on. Who was he passing the ball to?
A shock.
What?
But
But
he thought Hudson-Odoi was still on the pitch.
Sangari's fall off has been crazy for me because when he was moving from Eindhoven to the PL, and in fact in the first 15 or 20 games, he was a pretty decent player. I think injuries hit, and ever since he struggled to get any consistent game time. Comes in as a sub, 5 games, gets injured again, comes in. I don't know, man. Because when he was coming to the PL, he was one of Cote d'Ivoire's brightest midfield prospects. I'm not sure you can say that about him these days, but hey, we are wrapping up here. It's just about a couple of seconds to the end of this game. Mbeumo is looking like he wants to get something out of this for Man United.
I think Forest should hold on. I think they should play for the draw. I think they're on
the
the back one.
Yeah, referee has ended the game.
2-2.
2-2. I think Sean Dyche will take it. You can see that he's satisfied. Amorim not too satisfied, but I think he'll equally take it because he knows that this is a difficult ground to come to. This is a difficult team to play at this time.
To play a team not on form.
Yep.
You don't give them
a team who want to get something out of any by all means.
See, if you've got a very good goalkeeper, what you don't want to be seen to be doing is to be exposing a young goalkeeper. The 2 goals Man United conceded, clearly they exposed the young goalkeeper. Dalot slept on the first one. Ahmad, complete mismatch between he and Morgan Gibbs-White
for the second goal.
On the first goal. So for me, Amorim will look at this and he will clearly not be happy. I wouldn't be happy at all, especially having taken the lead. You should get them to work for it. You don't hand it over to them. And for them to have conceded 2 goals in 3 minutes. 2 goals in 3 minutes.
I think that was literally their most enterprising portion of the game. And they got their 2 goals. Yeah.
And they scored 2 goals from that. And look at the goal that eventually equalized for Man United. Out of nothing.
Yeah. That wasn't even a chance.
That wasn't a chance created. Sheer brilliance on the part of Ahmad.
Yeah.
He nearly won it again.
I think Forest defended really well in the game.
Because
United
we knew
fed
that
on loose balls.
The moment they had that advantage, typical Sean Dyche, he would get them to coil, form the wall, and then make themselves very difficult to lose the game. And we could clearly see that once he realized that there wasn't enough time to get back into the game if he were to concede the 3rd goal, he tactically changed it to make sure that everything just at least they get at least a point from this. And for me, yes, it's a ground that Man United, I think in the past 2 seasons, they've gone and they've lost in the league. For them to have, yes, it's a good result, not
something to build on.
Not getting yourself beat, especially Assad with 10 minutes to the. What a save!
Wow, Marcus Edwards I think nearly scored. Marcus Edwards, he went to Sporting Lisbon for like 3 or 4 years, and then he's back in England, left-footed English winger. Did really well. He played for Ruben Amorim actually. He was part of.
I think he hit the bar.
He was part of Amorim's team that won the league and eventually went deep in there.
See?
Yeah.
Ateta delivered 2-0.
Quick.
Clean sheet.
Charlie.
Just like I said.
And like that hit the bar, so that will count as a shot off target. So
don't expect
another match, another clean sheet, another Arsenal 3 points.
Flamboyant. Don't expect 4-0 even when they are playing against Burnley. Don't expect it. Expect an efficient display, efficient performance. They've delivered 2-0.
Let's wrap it up here.
At least I'm happy.
Yeah.
Jokeres scored.
Yeah.
In my view, although it wasn't a chance.
Yeah. He was in the right place at the right time.
He was in the right place, just headed it home. And that can only help boost his confidence. But they are showing that week in, week out, they don't need more than a goal to win a football game. And that is a very huge positive for them.
Well, in Spain, Atletico Madrid are up by 2-0 against Sevilla. Julian Alvarez and Thiago Almada gets in the goal. So 2-0 Atletico lead in that one. Let me just wrap it up here with the rest of the scores before we take the show home. Brighton and Leeds has ended 3-0. Advantage Brighton. Arsenal beat Burnley 2-0 away from home. Crystal Palace win 2-0 at home against Brentford. Fulham have beaten Wolves by 3-0. Nottingham Forest and Man United has ended 2-2. Chelsea and Spurs and Chelsea kicks off at 5:30. And then there's Liverpool, Aston Villa at 8 p.m. When you go to the Serie A, I believe that there's a game that is starting about now. Napoli-Como starts about now. Bayern Leverkusen starts in 30 minutes. Cremonese Juventus also out there. Paris Saint-Germain and OGC Nice are drawing goalless at halftime. If you care about some Eredivisie action, Ajax Football Club are up against Herenveen. They are up by 1-0. I know investors definitely care. Investors take their action everywhere, including the championship. So there's that. Leicester City lost at home today, 2-0 to Blackburn Rovers. Shocking.
Yesterday, Coventry City, they had gone 12 games without losing a game. Their 13th game, they lost 3-2 to Wrexham. So yeah,
Wrexham not doing badly at all.
Yeah,
So,
Brandon Thomas Asante's team lost for the first time this season, and just this afternoon, as you rightly pointed out, Leicester City. So yeah, Jordan Ayew and Fatawu Shaku also ended up on the losing side.
not great, but thank you very much, Manuel Kwache.
And a big shout out to Kofi for Ramofu. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Yaya Jamie. Thank you very much, Coach Christopher Nimley. Thank you to Daniel Squashy for hands in the studio. And thank you guys out there joining us on YouTube for doing this with us on radio and also on Channel 1 TV. I am Benjamin Nketi. I appreciate you guys for helping us to do this. This is the Republic, or this has been the Republic of Football. Tomorrow, we go at it again. Good games coming up for you in the English Premier League. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Keep listening, and bye-bye.